Hey YouTube, welcome back to the alleyway. It's me, Neon, and today we are playing some Wholesome Monster Girl Academia. We're getting a girlfriend, chat! We're getting a girlfriend, YouTube! We're doing it! We're doing it! I took a bath, I'm freshened up, we're getting a girlfriend! We're doing it! We're doing it! Now this is just a demo. This is just a demo, so it's not the full game yet, but we will get this girlfriend. If you want to see more, if you want me to play this game when it fully releases, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Come back around. I play a whole lot of variety games, and this is today's variety. In honor of Valentine's Day, we're getting a girlfriend. Be it a virtual one, we're getting one. Anyway, I'll catch right back up with you in just a second, like right about now. Y'all know what time it is.
It's time to play the game.
That's right!
Time to play the game.
That's right! Wow! Hi, Ari Blossom. Welcome on in, yeah? We are playing Wholesome Monster Girl Academia. No wonder it sounded familiar. Yes. It is that popular game that a lot of Christian content creators covered a few months ago. But I am just now hopping on the train. I'm always late to the train. But you know what? I get on at the right time when I need to be. So I can get off on my stop. I don't know where my stop. I don't know what I'm saying here. I need to readjust this. There we go. Boom. Welcome in, Ari. First time chatter, by the way. First time chatter. Welcome to the alleyway. I'm Neon. Why am I floating above? It's all good. Why am I floating slightly? Hi. Why are we pointing up? I don't understand. Why am I floating? Oh. What the heck? What the heckin'? There we go. There we go. I don't know why I was floating there. But let's play the game. New save. It is stretched because I didn't want to have to squish it. So it's looks a little weird. This game is not 21 by 9. It's not 21 by 9, so I had to stretch it. It's a little squished, but we'll deal with it. It's fine. New save. Save slot 2. Oh. Can I not do custom? Oh. Alright. We're starting it. This is us, by the way, I believe. I believe this is us. I don't know who this is. I don't know. Welcome to this is a demo. This is a demo. It is unfinished. It's unfinished. Yes. Can I skip this? Skip the intro. Whoa! Whoa, what is happening? Whoa. What happened? Okay. Yes. We're not gonna hit skip again. I don't know what happened there. I do not know what happened there. Let us begin. It's Friday, August 1st. The final bell of my week as a high school junior blares through the hallways. My ears are soon filled with hundreds of simultaneous conversations from students all over the school. Oh, this is gonna be a reading thing, chat. Oh, crumbs, this is gonna be bad. I shoved my books into my backpack and rushed out of the classroom, relieved to be free for the weekend. Real me after work. I'll probably spend my time in gaming or seeing what my friends are up to. This is so me. This is so me. Not that we're super close or do anything meaningful. It's just still nice to hang around others with similar interests. It is. For better or for worse, it seems that nothing in my life ever changes. Yes. Even this year is starting to feel much the same as the last. The only difference is that I'm 1 year older than before. If that ain't adulthood, I don't know what is. I leave the school through the double metal doors that lead downstairs into the parking lot. While rushing through the courtyard, I hear some raised voices coming from the far end of the sidewalk away from me. Hey! Don't hop away from us, Cottontail. That's crazy. I can't quite tell from afar, but a student with the build of a linebacker appears to be harassing someone. A bunny-type monster girl. Ooh. Looking closer, I recognize her as one of the few monster people in our school. Sophia! It's Sophia! There aren't a whole lot of them in the public school system. For various reasons, it's taking some time for monster people to integrate into society. I mean, that's real. A second, shorter but slimmer student smoothly slides his arm around Sophia's shoulder. That's creepy. I instantly recognize him as Dave, the shadiest guy in school. Oh, He's well known for the not-so-savory parties he throws at his rich parents' house. It's always the rich kids, Crumbs. It's always the rich kids, yeah. It's no surprise to me that one of the football players has fallen into one of his schemes. Got any plans this weekend? Bill here and me... Wow, that's English. Bill here and me know a good place to hang out, free from prying eyes. Sophia's eyes shift around uncomfortably. I hesitate for a moment, thinking that I should just let this pass since there are plenty of other people around. Surely out of all these people, someone will stick up for her. Despite her shifting hands, Sophia's legs are locked and her feet are frozen in place. She looks like a rabbit caught in a trap. I survey the courtyard and notice that no one else is even looking in their direction. Don't be in such a rush. We've heard the rumors. Concerts, parties, you name it. You're quite the party animal, aren't you? I feel like that's slight racism. If you're into that kind of thing, I'm changing voices all over the place. If you're into that kind of thing, we know a much better place to hang out. Even if we have a few drinks, it'll be great. Underage drinking? Red flags. Please just leave me alone. I have a boyfriend. A boyfriend, huh? I'm sure he wouldn't mind if you just went out for a few drinks with old friends, would he? She's clearly lying anyways. Who would actually go out with a cursed freak like her? Quiet, moron. Hey, ignore him. Let's just go somewhere with a little more quiet. I've been told that a man is defined by the actions he takes, and I don't think I consider myself much of a man if I don't take action now. Do we have a problem here? Screw off, man. This is none of your business. Yeah, mind your own business. Can't you see we're busy making plans for the weekend? I wasn't talking about you two morons. I was talking to my friend Sophia. It isn't very common for humans and monster people to hang out in most public spaces. Public schools, though there are a few exceptions. Everyone typically keeps to their own groups, so it surprises these two that I even know her name. When I glance at Sophia's face, she appears relieved that she's no longer alone in this situation. She takes initiative and pushes Dave's arm off her shoulder. Hold it. I'm not letting you go anywhere without having a little fun first. Dave starts after her again and grabs a hold of her waist instead. Ooh. I instinctively rush towards her, but suddenly see stars. Bill, no longer caring about Dave or Sophia, just sucker punched me directly into my temple. I raise my arms in self-defense and get ready to throw punches myself. Sophia stomps on Davy's fancy shoe and makes a break for it. Oh, I'll go get a teacher. She says this as I prepare to defend myself against this giant in front of me. Somehow, through my imperception, I've ended up with my back against the school building, leaving me no choice but to fight back. He swings wide and gives me the opportunity to duck and release a fury of blows. Jab, hook, swing. 2 hits to the gut and 1 to the jaw, all of which he brushes off like it's nothing. In return, he punches me right in the eye, causing me to wince back in pain. K-drama, woo, yes, yes. Thinking quickly, I rush at him despite his build and try to tackle him back. It does me no good, however, since he's built like a truck, and it pushes me backwards against the wall. He knees me into the gut and grabs my shirt with his hands, causing me to panic. I use the wall to leverage some extra force and kick him into the gut, causing him to bend forward in pain. However, right as I do this, we hear Sophia returning with the teacher in tow. Here they are, right over here. And as quickly as it started, it's over. The teacher rushes over, having witnessed my final kick, aimed at a kick in the head. She makes an instantaneous judgment then and there as to who is at fault and has us march into the principal's office. I hate that so much. It doesn't matter to them that I wasn't the one who started it. It doesn't matter to them that I was helping someone out of a potentially dangerous situation. All that matters to them is that the school's no tolerance policy. I sit in a chair with the principal looming over me, lecturing me about fighting on school grounds, especially on the first week of school. He sentences me to a week of detention and threatens expulsion if anything like this ever happens again. I shut my brain off to anything else he has to say to me. Real and true. I am not going to listen to anything from someone with the power to make things right, but chooses not to look at facts. All that matters to me is that I was justified in my actions. I don't care what any authoritative body has to say about it. It do be like that. It do be like that, unfortunately. Goodness gracious. I know in my heart that I'm right. I just wish I knew how to properly express that. Fortunately, my parents are a lot more patient than the school administrators, and I'm able to explain my side of things to them. It's because of situations like this that I now have them to thank for my strong sense of justice. My parents, fed up with how my school handles bullying situations, decide to enroll me in a private Catholic school 3 hours away from home. Wow. It's not out of nowhere that I come to this conclusion either. Our local church was offering scholarships over the summer for people wanting to attend during the now current school year, and there are still slots available. Let's go indeed. My parents asked me if I agree with their assessment, whether this will be the best thing for me or not. They seem to regret not having put me through the private school earlier, if only for the education. I don't really have any deep attachments to my current school, so I'm not at all opposed to the idea of going to a new private one. Unfortunately, I still have to finish out the rest of the month at my current school. I write out the rest of my detention and finish the remaining month, keeping my head down and nose clean. On a positive note, during that time, I ended up befriending Sophia during my final weeks. So this is it, I guess. I guess so. I'm glad I got to know you better before I left, at least. Who knew we'd both be into the same bands and basketball teams? Right? I never expected that much. Oh, wow. Right? I never expected that humans and monster people would have so much in common. Sorry. It's fine. I was thinking the same thing. We aren't really that much different on the inside, it seems. If only I had time to get to know her and her kind more. I still feel bad that you got in trouble even after I gave my side of the story to the principal. Don't worry about it. If you hadn't spoken up afterwards, my detentions would have been all day during school with Dave and Bill, rather than for an hour after school. Hey, cheer up! At least you won't have to keep attending the school the same. At least you won't have to keep attending the same school as those jerks anymore. Are you going to be okay despite them being here? Don't worry about me. Us bunny girls are stronger than we look. I'll just stick with my friends after school. Well, be safe, Sophia. And I guess text me if you need anything. Not that I can do much 3 hours away. Same goes to you, Gabe. Take care. Yeah, you too. Somehow I doubt we'll keep in touch, but part of me hopes that we will, despite the physical distance. We ain't talking ever again. We ain't talking ever again. After all, it's good to have friends. It is good to have friends. By the end of that day, the new school's paperwork is taken care of, and all the necessary things are packed up. I think I'm ready to leave this school behind. Still, this will be a massive change for me. I've never been away from home before for more than a week, so it will take some getting used to. Genesis 6, 1-4. And after that, men began to be multiplied upon the earth, and daughters were born to them. The sons of God, seeing the daughters of men, that they were... The sons of God, seeing the daughters of men, that they were fair, took to themselves wives of all which they chose. And God said, My spirit shall not remain in man forever, because he is flesh, and his days shall be 120 years. Now the Nephilim were upon the earth in those days. For after the sons of God went into the daughters of men, and they brought forth children, these are the mighty men of old, men of renown. These few lines of early scripture have been the cause of much controversy for the last century or so. In the late 1950s and early 1960s, mankind shot the first satellites into space. It didn't take very long for those satellites to be used for practical purposes such as weather tracking and observation. During one particular observation effort, scientists discovered some small towns and cities hidden in previously unexplored regions of the 6 major continents populated by humanity. Various world government powers took it upon themselves to send people out to chart these unknown peoples and to find out how they had hidden themselves from the world and up into the modern era. What they discovered baffled and scarred most of humanity. Monster people, whose descriptions were always thought to be mere fantasy, harpies, dragonkin, slimes, succubi, and even vampires were found among various other monster races, each reflecting stories from various myths from the surrounding ancient cultures. Average citizens were terrified. The governments called for a quarantine of these newly discovered races. Many religions called them cursed and demon spawn. Some countries called for their extermination. Many monster people tried to fight back, but ultimately they were overwhelmed by the sheer number of regular humans. In an exception that surprised many, the Vatican made a call to action for Catholics and the whole world to treat these newly discovered humanoids with the dignity and respect that any other human should be given. Big. They reasoned that Christ's church is called to bring the message of salvation to all mankind, and that if these monster people are sapient, they are still to be considered persons, first and foremost. Still, people being who they are, rejected this message, and monster people were subject to oppression by many of the societies who had discovered them. Inspired by the civil rights movement also happening at that time in America, many ordinary people joined the efforts of the Catholic and Christian churches in their efforts to humanize these extraordinary people. The Catholic Church was instrumental in spearheading this movement too, having continued against the grain of culture, even going so far as illegally marrying people of different races against the laws of the time. There's a joke there, I'm sure. Today, more and more people than ever have come to accept monster people as just another race of people, but there are still those who hold such prejudice as to call them cursed or demon spawn. The passages from Genesis may or may not describe the true origins of these people, and it may be true that they may come from a lineage cursed by God or the sinful actions of mankind. But children do not deserve to bear the burden of their parents' sins. Very true. At least that's how I see it. Yeah, I kind of agree. Yeah. After an early mass in my hometown, we arrived a day before my official school day to unpack my bags and find my bearings. This new school is 3 hours away from home, so when we arrive, it's a few hours past lunchtime. We grab a quick bite to eat in town before my parents drop me off at the front gate. My parents and I embrace in a heartfelt goodbye, complete with embarrassing hugs and kisses at the front gate. I remain behind while they depart for the dorms to drop off my bags so I can start becoming acquainted with the campus. Maybe I'm just feeling optimistic, but it seems to me the front gate has its arms stretched wide open in welcome. I hope that this gesture is a good sign that I'm in the right place. Pondering for a moment, I think about what life is going to be like once I walk through those arms. Academics aside, I wonder how different a private Catholic school will be compared to my old public one. I imagine there will be some religious elements involved that weren't present before, so I'm a little worried about how all that will play out. I guess there's only one way to find out. I just have to move forward and hope for the best. That's how you do go with life, chat. That is how you go with life. You really just gotta hope for the best and do what you can. I'm sure it'll be fine. A little bit of extra Jesus never hurt anyone. Ain't that the truth? Amen. As I catch myself thinking that, I hope I'm not being too irreverent in my thinking. No. I sometimes wonder how the God of all creation sees how we think of him. Surely he must have some kind of sense of humor. Otherwise, would he not have humored us with his presence? Real. I truly believe that God has an insane sense of humor. We wouldn't have humor without him. I believe he's very, very funny. He's very funny. Anyways, I guess it's time to discover what God has in store for me on the other side of this gate. As I take my first step forward, I say a quick prayer that everything will go well for me. I begin my trek through the campus to familiarize myself with the school grounds. A few dozen students are roaming around from one place to another, enjoying their last day off before the weekend finishes. I start to feel a bit isolated since I'm coming from a different school halfway through my high school career, a month into my junior year at that. I hope I don't have any trouble with making new connections. Still, this place doesn't look half bad. Comfy even. I think I could get used to this. I wander aimlessly for a few minutes, clueless as to where I am headed, when I notice a large beast-looking man walking in my direction. 2 giant ox horns adorned his head. I don't mean to stare, but it really is imposing at first glance. Besides this, I notice that he's dressed in a priestly garb. Okay, he must be the chaplain, Father John. While he approaches me, I wonder to myself if I should ask him for directions. Surely he'd be the one to ask for guidance around here. It's almost as if he can read my mind. He asked me before I even had the chance. Hello, hey there, friend. You look like a lost sheep. Can I help you find your way? There's always a Father John. You're so right. You're so right. And hey, Father John. Yes, Father. I'm transferring here as a junior. I just arrived today and I was looking to find my bearings. Well, fortunately for you, it's my job to help the lost find their way. Ain't that right? New entry unlocked. Ooh, thanks. Oh, by the way, I'm Father John. I'm the chaplain here at St. Thomas Aquinas High School. That's a name. Yes, sir. I kind of guessed from the descriptions and what I've heard of you. No offense. Haha, none taken. I know I'm kind of hard to miss. Anyways, it's nice to meet you. My name is Gabriel, though most people just call me Gabe. A messenger of God, indeed of guidance then. How ironic. Well, I think you're in luck, because a reliable servant of the Lord has appeared to us. Father John gestures behind me and a monster boy who at first glance seems tired and unkempt. This is Damien. He is in your grade and a student council member to boot. Damien, would you mind terribly showing Gabe around campus? He's new here and needs someone to show him around. I don't mind. He raises his hand in a short, motionless wave. Yo, I'm Damien. Daywalker, if you couldn't tell. I do likewise, awkwardly copying his short wave and smile responding. I gotta drive, have a great rest of your stream. You too, be safe on your drive. Do not crash. Meow. I'm Gabe. Human. We're gonna just call myself a Catboy for the time being. Catboy. I wanted to make a joke about me also walking around during the day, but I still don't know how people might react to unsolicited jokes about their monster race. Just make the joke. Ask for forgiveness, not permission. Well, it was nice to meet you, Gabe. But if you don't mind. Not at all. Sorry for giving you. I'm sure that you're still pretty busy on Sundays, even after Mass. Indeed I am. The work of a priest is never done. Best of luck finding your bearings, Gabe. Make sure to come by the chapel sometime in the evenings if you're ever in any need of spiritual guidance or need a confession heard. Of course, I'm always available in case of emergencies. Anyways, welcome to St. Thomas. There he go. I'm now left in Daywalker's care. Although Damien sure doesn't look like he has the energy to do anything but sleep, much less lead me anywhere. So, you're a junior too, huh? What made you come to St. Thomas High? It's a long story.
Wow. And you can quote me.
Okay.
Thank you, mustache. Thank you. That is something I do say quite a lot. Welcome on in, buddy. The short version is that I got in a fight defending someone else. My parents and I had a different perspective on the topic of justice than the school did. Oh yeah? Sounds complicated. So, what have you seen around school so far? Just the front gate and here. Great. Let's head towards the most popular lunch hangout. Then we can head inside so you
Stuck-up,
can see where our classes are
half-witted,
held.
scruffy-looking nerve herder.
What up, Scruffy?
Who's
Come by on a
time?
Friday night, have you? Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Meow. Ow. Yep. Get it out your system. Uh-huh. Make a mess. Ow. 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 Are we done? Am I good? Is everything okay? Am I gonna get hurt anymore? Okay, I'm gonna continue. Meow. Neon's being bullied. Well, looks like we got a racist here. Somebody ban Scruffy real quick. We got ourselves a racist. A racist. Listen, monster people are accepted by the Catholic Church. It was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. Yes, they hurt. I'm getting hit by things. I'm getting hit by things. Listen, it's the whole thing. Back in my day, listen, I'm younger than you. I'm older than you. I think, yes, I'm older than you. There ain't no back in your day, because back in your day is back in my day. Also, lore-wise, they were accepted in during the Civil Rights Movement. So are you 60 or 70 years old, Scruffy? That's the 1950s, buddy. Back in my day, yeah, Saren. Listen, Saren would still go for a vampire girl. I'm pretty sure. You are not. You were not. I can guarantee it. I can guarantee it. Meow. Anyway, I have some business around here and there and elsewhere, so I'll get it done. That's not how this works. That's not how this works. You can't just do that. I'm having to read this stuff. I'm having to read this stuff. You can't just mute me. You can't just mute me like that. No, you're not allowed. You're not allowed. I want to get a girlfriend, and you're hindering me. Way to be a wingman, Scruffy. Way to be a wingman. Way to be a wingman. You're just blocking me right now. You're just blocking me right now, alright? I want to get a girlfriend, and you're blocking me right now. I do not appreciate it. I don't appreciate it. My voice cracking. I don't care. You're blocking me. I don't appreciate it. I'm continuing on. I gotta get back into character. Woo. Thanks, and sorry for the inconvenience. Don't sweat it. It's my job to make sure all the students are taken care of as a school council member. Thanks for clipping me. Wow, over 50 minutes in, still no girlfriend. What do you mean? I want to see you get a girlfriend in 49 minutes or less. I want to see you do it. Couldn't be me. It isn't you. You're single for all I know. Looks like I ran into a bigwig around here. Though he doesn't look the type, he must do a lot of good for the school to have a chaplain rely on him like this. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. With Damien at the helm, I follow him to our next destination. We arrive in an open field with oak trees. You truly the best wing. Brother, you've shut me up twice. Now. We arrive in an open field with oak trees and picnic tables arranged near one another. I don't have the game, and why would I want to date a monster girl? Because they're pretty and they're unique and special. That's why. You sounded kind of racist. Actually, preferences are a thing and preferences are allowed. The area is filled with students, the most prominent of which are a group of cheerleaders chanting synchronized cheers. They're pretty unique and special. What is that? What is that? What is that? Am I not allowed to appreciate women? Am I not allowed to appreciate women of all kinds? My mama didn't raise no monster lover. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my gosh, Scruffy. You're walking on a thin line here, buddy. Are they actually women? Yes! Alright, we're gonna go back to the history real quick. I'm gonna look at the lore here. I'm gonna show you the lore. We're gonna look at... Hi, Lau. Welcome on in. Enjoy your look. You don't think they came from Eve? Hold on. We're gonna look at the lore here for all you new people who came in late. Listen. This is what happened. So we read Genesis 6, 1 through 4. Listen. This was like after the flood. I believe Genesis 6 is. But anyway, the Nephilim came down, had the babies. Yeah. Anyway, these few early lines of scripture have been causing so much controversy for the last century or so. In the late 1950s and 60s, they shot stuff in the satellites in space. They saw these regions, and in these regions, they found peoples, harpies, dragons, slime, succubi, even vampires and other monster races. Stuff of mythical. People were terrified. They were called quarantine, descendants from demons. Wait just a second! Here we go. In an exception that surprised many, the Vatican made a call to action for Catholics in the whole world to treat these newly discovered humanoids with dignity and respect that any other human should be given. 7-8, there's the flood. Okay. Well, I got it wrong. My bad. They reasoned that the Christ Church is to call... That's you and me! You don't submit to Rome. Yeah, whatever. Listen, that's you and me. We are the church. It's called to bring the message of salvation to all mankind, and that if these monster people, quote unquote, are sapient, they are still to be considered persons first and foremost. Yeah, y'all are being like these people over here. The 6 talk about the way of the world that God sought to wipe out. Okay, still, people being who they are, most rejected this message, and monster people are still subject to oppression by many of the societies who discovered them. Inspired the civil rights movement also happened at that time in America. Many ordinary people joined efforts of the Catholic and Christian churches in their efforts to humanize these extraordinary people. The Catholic Church was instrumental in spearheading this movement too, having continued against the grain of culture, even going so far as to illegally marrying people of different races against the laws of the time. Today, more and more people yes. The passages from Genesis may or may not describe the true origins of the people. It may or not be true that they have come from the lineage cursed by mankind, by God, or the sinful actions of mankind. But children do not deserve to bear the burden of their parents' sins. They don't. And that's how I see it too. Yeah. Imagine you having to pay for your parents' sins. Imagine that. I don't think that's fair. Good luck flirting with demon babes. So you're saying he failed and we should befriend them and court them. What I'm saying is that they are people too. They are created by God. Everything on earth is created by God. Even if things came from... If people came from bad situations, they were still created by God. At least in this universe. Here. In this. But that's true for real life. Even if a child is born out of a bad situation, they are still created by God. They are still worthy of love. And they are still a human at the end of the day. And deserve to be treated as a human. In this universe of the video game, they are still humanoids and deserve to be treated as such. Even if they look a little bit different. They are still created by God. Meow. Dang it, he pulled the one card. I can't. in good conscience go against? Amen! Let's go! Let's go! I did it! I did it! The mental hurdle people go in order to date cat girls. Look at me! Witness me! Do you not see the ears? I know you can't see the tail, but I am a cat boy. I am a cat boy. Do you not see the ears? Let me be with my people! Let me be with my people! Meow. Anyway. We continue. I mean, got that out of the way. Yeah, but I don't want to date you. Well, that's good, because I'm a guy, and it's one man, one woman. None of that gay stuff. I ain't gay. And I don't want to date you either. I'd rather date a woman. They're a lot prettier than you. Meow. And that's not the reason I want to date the women, is because... Anyway, I try to keep a steady pace with Damien, but I struggle to keep up as he makes surprising quick beeline to the cheerleaders. By the time I catch up, the routine is finished, and Damien starts talking to what looks like the head cheerleader. Neon doesn't want to date Scruffy. I don't. And I don't think I'm a bad person to say that. I can adjust the clip. Don't you worry. Neon, quiet down. I can hear you yelling through my headphones in another room. No, I will not be quiet. You cannot quiet me down. You cannot quiet me down. I am loud. I am a cat boy. I am loud. Anyway, unlike at my old school, I noticed a lot of diversity among the group. See, we got diversity up in here! We got diversity!
Thank you, Agent K. Ladies and gentlemen, if you will, look right here.
Deal with y'all. I cannot deal with y'all tonight doing this. Anyway, welcome back to the stream, everybody. Hi! We're playing the Wholesome Monster Girl, and we just started. Diversity, good. Diversity, good thing. Big thumbs up. Big thumbs up for diversity. We like diversity. We like the monster girls, the monster men, all the monster people are good. We like that. We like the big thumbs up. Big thumbs up. As Christians, we love people. We love humans. We love humanoids. They have souls and they're created by God. We like. Anyway. Half of them are ordinary humans, but the other half are monster girls. I was gonna hold off, but now I can't help myself. I'm logging into Discord for this. Oh no. Oh no. You're logged. Oh no. I'm so scared. A blue feathered bird type monster girl sneaks away from the group while I'm idling by myself waiting for Damien. Ooh, this pretty lady. She must be a harpy. Yes, we love humans only. All other demons should be removed from existence. They're not made in the image of God. Like that. What am I? What am I, Heron? What am I? Are you wanting to wipe me out? Are you wanting to wipe me out? I am a cat boy! I am one of them! I'm doxing Neon's car and is this... What? What? My car? What? Anyway, if you haven't joined the Discord, it's my only yes. I'm a boy with a cat ear. I am a cat boy! I'm a cat boy! I'm a cat boy! You missed the tail, buddy. It's soft and it's fluffy. And you're not allowed to touch it anymore! I am a cat boy. Do you not... I'm not... I'm 5'8". I am average. I am average. Gosh dang it. I am average. I am average in every aspect of my life. Socially. What? No. Hold on. My car? Hold on. No. I'm being doxxed right now. You're over a foot taller than me. Yeah, I don't... What? Hold on. Opening the Discord. Where'd you post this? Where'd you post it? Oh, no. Okay, he didn't actually find my car, chat. He found a truck with, what's it called? Sheet metal on it, named Cyborg Truck. I got scared for a second. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Hey, we're an hour in. This is the second girl we've talked to. We've talked to a bunny girl, and now we're about to talk to a harpy girl. We taking flight with this one, chat. Crumbs. I haven't heard much about them except what I was told about in ancient legends. Mostly, they used to pick up travelers at random, kidnapping them with their sharp, imposing talons. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know, a catboy and a harpy. I don't know if that's gonna go very well. I don't think that's gonna go anywhere. I don't know what you're talking about. That's clearly your truck. Actually, I drive a GR Corolla. Editor, put that on screen. I'm the editor. I'm not putting that on screen because I'm gonna forget about this moment. This harpy, short, brightly colored hair, and her light blue feathers lower the intimidation factor by at least half. No, I'm still intimidated. As a cat, harpy, scary. Harpy is scary. Harpy, scary. Yeah, she's getting closer to me, chat! And if she weren't already coming closer, I'd say she looks very approachable. I don't know about that. Those old tales can't be true, can they? They can be. She got some claws. Sarah. Ooh, hello. Hi there. I haven't seen you around here before. I'm Sarah. Oh, hey, I'm Gabe, as in Gabriel. I reached my hand out to greet her before realizing that it might be awkward to grasp a harpy talons. Her hand reaches mine before I can stop myself, and despite how it looks, the inside of her palm is surprisingly soft and her grip gentle. Ooh, she got soft hands. Meow. Nice to meet ya. So am I. Right? What? Look at it. What? That line doesn't make sense, chat. Gonna be real with you. So am I, right? Huh? Gonna be honest, that line does not make sense. Nice to meet ya. So am I, right? Are you new here? Yeah, I'm a junior. I came from a little town over 3 hours away. A junior, huh? Me too. What brings you all the way out here? Why am I being bonked? I figure I'll have to repeat this a few times, so I'll quickly invent a way to summarize it for anyone who wants to know. Long story short, I got in a fight defending someone at school, and they had no tolerance policy in place. Oh, I'm bad at this. Oh, scary. A ruffian or a knight in shining armor. You'll have to spill the details later. Yeah, well, this popular hangout during lunch hours, huh? So, wow. I can't read, chat. I can't read. Yeah, well, so this is the popular hangout during school lunch hours, right? Oh, yeah. This is where I usually catch up with all the latest gossip. I mean, talk with all my friends. Of course, there's an inside cafeteria as well, which is nice for when it's raining. The food's okay too, I guess. So if you want to find someone during lunch or after school, this is most likely the place that you'll find them. Just then, Damien cuts in. Hey, Gabe. I'm done in this area. Let's go to the next place. Alright, nice to meet you, Sarah. I guess I'll see you tomorrow? Yep. Nice to meet you, too. Sarah skips back to her squad members, bouncing on her feet with every step. Next up, our classroom. There's just a few things I need to get from there before we continue on. Lead the way. PNG flip. We enter the building together and walk down a long hallway. Poster boards and lockers line the walls, interrupted by doors in even intervals that lead to various classrooms. Damien stops in front of one of the rooms and reaches for the doorknob. This is our homeroom. We have about 20 students in this year, including you, and about half are monster people. That's a lot more monster people than we had at my public schools, but less students overall. Yeah, makes sense. That's a pretty typical difference between public and private schools. Besides the fact not a lot of us feel like we fit into public schools, private schools often have a better student-teacher ratio. Still feeling pretty nervous about the new school, so I decided to probe him about it some more. What else do you think might be different about this school that I might have to get used to? He pauses for a moment and thinks to himself. I can't know for sure, but it feels like he's really taking my questions seriously here. It almost feels like it's almost like he can detect how nervous I am. It's probably not all that different here, to be quite honest. Except that human and monster people interactions feel quite natural. Most people are friendly enough with each other, but as far as negative incidents go, honestly, it still happens on occasion, but it feels pretty rare to me. Personally, no one's ever bothered me about it, but I'm pretty easygoing as is. There will always be some isolated incidents, of course. Private schools can sometimes lead to elitism among wealthier students if the school doesn't stomp it out. It makes me wonder if Sophia and really all monster people would fare better at a school like this. I guess I'll find out this year, one way or another. You don't seem to be too bothered around monster people for someone who came from a public school. What do you think gave you a different perspective? Honestly, I hadn't put much direct thought into it before. It always felt natural to accept others for who they are and not just by their appearance alone. Crumbs! 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 Listen! People are people! We accept them for who they are and not just by their appearance alone! Anyway. Usually. I don't know for sure, but I was raised Catholic, so maybe that. There's always a fair mix of people. Mustache. 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 Behave thyself.
Like belongs in the trash.
I'm removing this redeem. I'm removing it. I'm turning it off right now. There's always a fair mix of people in the pews at mass, at least, even if there are more humans than monster people. Fair enough. So are you a cradle Catholic then? Huh? Born and raised? Oh yeah, I guess I am then. I mean, I'm not super religious or anything. I've just never really felt like I've had a really deep connection with God like the others seem to. It's not like I don't believe, it just feels like I'm missing something. I don't have to tell them all that though. We've only just met after all. So I guess that means you've been through all of your sacraments, right? Yeah, baptism, confession, communion, and confirmation. The most recent being confirmation, of course. Of course. All that's left now is holy orders or marriage. Joy alert! And anointing of the sick. But hopefully, that's a long way off. Haha, yeah, right. Seems he takes religion pretty seriously. Meanwhile, I barely remember anything from the faith formation classes we had every Wednesday for the few years leading up to confirmation. I feel like if they had just taught us things like why we should even bother going to church on Sundays, I would have absorbed it better. After all, there's no reason to physically go into church. Can't we all be spiritually close to God through prayer? He is all around us after all. Anyways, I guess we should get going now. Damien moves to reach his hand towards the doorknob, but he briefly stops and looks back. Hey, if you ever have any questions about monster people, don't be afraid to ask. Most of us aren't bothered, but sometimes it's amusing what questions people come up with. Even with the little time I spent with Sophia, I didn't have much of a chance like this, so I'll take advantage of his offer sooner or later. Haha, alright, I'll keep that in mind. Turns back around and disappears through the doorway. I follow once again. I continue to follow Damon closely behind. He points out a few other relevant classrooms here and there as we walk along. On the way to the library, run into two girls who are arguing over something.
Come on, Eva. Let me see what both you've checked out. I bet it's another steamy romance novel.
A relatively short slime girl is teasing a blushing succubus, who appears flustered. I can tell at first glance by the smug grin of the slime girl that she's a troublemaker. Ooh! Most of her body seems to be comprised of a semi-translucent, slimy material, all of which seems to hold up surprisingly well. Looking more closely, I notice her extremely sleep-deprived eyes and cute little antenna poking out of the front of her hair. It reminds me of the rumors I've heard about slime people supposedly being aliens. I can totally see why people would think so, seeing one up close like this, but I never really bothered to dig into the details. To her side, the succubus, who, despite her already bright red skin, appears to be blushing heavily at the slime girl's teasing. She has two little horns protruding from her dark black hair and a slender tail coming from behind her that ends in a pointed spade. Her solid black eyes are illuminated by her bright yellow pupils. And while she is also shorter than me, she still has a few inches on the slime girl.
Cut it out, Clover! This is none of your business what I've got going on, okay? I promise I won't tell anyone, except maybe Damien over there.
Hey, Clover, picking on Eva again? Don't be too hard on her. You know she's sensitive.
I'm not!
Clover snickers devilishly. Anyway, this is Gabe. He'll be in our classes starting tomorrow. Nice to meet you both. Clover eyes me up and down with a smug grin on her face. Eva looks at me with some hesitation, but quickly looks away when she notices my eyes looking back.
Likewise.
Eva looks back at me with a slight suspicion and replies, "Nice to meet you too." Anyway, we better get... Oh, hold on. Let me get the right voice.
Anyways, we better get going so Eva can start on her new romance novel.
Eva smacks Clover's head with her book, which gives a distinctive splat, then rushes off blushing.
Hold on, Eva. Wait up!
Those two normally get along, but Clover likes getting reactions out of poor Eva. Real and true. It's okay, I understand. As long as they're just friends teasing in the spirit of a good fun, yeah. If they weren't both different monster types, I'd assume they were sisters. Yeah, it does seem that way sometimes. Anyways, this is where the library is. When you have more time, you should go inside and check it out. There's a wide range of literature to choose from, and a pretty decent computer lab. Let's check out the gym next. Coming out to the back end of the school, the doors open up to a large field to what looks like a gymnasium. Outside, multiple students are hanging out, throwing balls, and performing other physical activities. I guess Sundays are still pretty busy for some of the sports clubs. Not always. Though some of us like to get out ahead of the competition. Especially her. As we weave our way through the various sports groups, my eyes focus on one almost entirely in sync. In front of the group, a tall dragonkin leads their movements with impressive gusto. Ha! Ya! Ha! It is quickly apparent why she's the leader. Besides her extremely tan and fit appearance, she towers over most of the rest of the group. Two piercing horns protrude from the side of her head, giving her a rather imposing appearance. Despite this, her sharp gaze implies her sharp wits. Her hair is drenched in sweat, which pours over the slimy red scales on the side of her face.
Alright guys, let's take a break!
And just as she calls for a break, Damien walks over to greet her. What's up, Ren? Working the team hard on a weekend, I see.
You can't let off a day to be excused and get lazy. Let no day go to waste. Ren glances over in my direction, aware of my approach. This is Gabe. He's new here. He transferred here because he got in a fight at his old one in self-defense of someone else. So he says. When he turns to fully face me, he looks up and down as if to size me up for a brawl. Well then, maybe you should go and join the martial arts club if you can handle yourself in a fight. I thought it was pretty odd that Damien would bring up the fighting part of my intro, but it makes sense now. A not so subtle wave to advertisement to the martial arts club, I guess. I'll have to think on it. The fight was a spur of the moment thing. I don't really care for violence. No excuses. The martial arts aren't about starting fights, just finishing them when necessary. Ironically, right after saying this, she playfully punches in the left shoulder, giving me a distinct smack. Thanks for throwing things at me at the perfect time. Hi, AJ. Welcome on in. She smirks at me as she does this. Just think about it. I'm usually practicing over here in the gym or after school.
Pizza time.
Ooh, pizza. If it'll help me dodge your punches, I guess I might have to. I say this while massaging my likely bruised shoulder. You're funny. I'll see you in gym class then. Ew, mushroom. Oh, I'll try to... You can look around and try to find a different one. I'm sure there's something in the pile. She turns to face her fellow martial artists and starts rallying them back into training. She's one of the school's best athletes, not just in martial arts, but also basketball, volleyball, track, lifting. Actually, I don't think there's a sport where she isn't good at. Speaking of, if you don't join the martial arts team, consider joining the basketball team. The season doesn't start until the beginning of November. Plus, there's a bonus that the harpy girl you were talking to earlier, Sarah, will be cheering you on during the matches. Imagine myself being cheered on by Sarah. I almost blushed, but completely composed myself. I'll have to think on that too. I've never formally joined any team sports before, but I can't say that I'm bad at them casually either. Well, look out in gym class regardless. There's a good chance that Ren will challenge you and Sarah will be watching. Gotta keep that in mind. With the prospect of being staked out during my gym by two monster girls on my mind, we continue our journey. That's a way to think. Goodness. We arrive at the outside of a very tall and imposing church. It soars high above any other buildings around. It doesn't seem to be afraid of letting its presence be known. Still, it's only the size and sharp spires that make it imposing. The house of God is meant to be a place of awe, worthy of representing its spiritual head. Almost no Catholic church building in the world worth its merits can be mistaken for what it represents. And finally, we have the chapel. Mass is held every Wednesday before school, replacing first period, and every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Thanks, I'll commit it to memory so I don't miss it. Speaking of time, I'm almost late for an evening appointment. I'll catch up with you later. Alright, thanks again for the tour. I'll have to make it up to you sometime. Don't sweat it. Later. He wanders off in another direction, throwing another one of his signature waves over the back of his head and leaving me in front of the chapel's doors. The noise of the crowds of students has died down compared to earlier. I suppose it is dinner time after all. Since I'm already here, I approach the chapel doors, intending to just take a peek inside. The doors shut behind me with a soft thud. I allow my senses to take in my surroundings. The church too appears to be mostly empty and quiet. A few steps in, I hear a faint humming coming from one of the back pews. I reverently walk down the center aisle about a third of the way until I locate the source of the sound. A girl with a long black ponytail and big red ribbon is leaning sideways in the middle of the pew. She reminds me of the members of a punk band I once saw on TV.
The red and black striped stockings and the little skull on her chest really complete the look. She quickly types on her cell phone while gently humming an unfamiliar tune. She doesn't seem to notice me, so I sit down on the same pew on the far side away from her to take in the reverent atmosphere. The inside of the church is adorned all in a manner of golden colors, stained glass, and statues of saints. Up towards the front, the altar is immaculate, except for a long cloth covering its top. Behind the altar, on the wall, rests a golden box common to all Catholic churches. I believe it's called the tabernacle. That's where they put the bread after communion for storage, as far as I recall. Just then, I hear the front doors of the church swing wide open. Father John steps through, heading down the aisle towards the altar. This alerts the girl sitting on the other side of the pew in my presence. She stops typing on her phone, takes a quick glance at me, and then gets up to leave. I make a motion to stand up and get out of her way, but end up stumbling into her. Real. That's so me. Before I can move again, I notice that she has 2 fangs protruding from her mouth. She must be a daywalker like Damien. I wonder if they know each other, considering how rare they are. Excuse me? Sorry, let me get out of your way. I didn't mean to interrupt. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I was just finished here anyways. She hurries past me, out the front doors, passing Father John along the way. Father John continues his pace, passing her with a gentle smile until he stops in front of me. Ah, Gabe, you came. It shows a lot about your character to come to confession on the first day before your new school. I'm sorry to disappoint, but my motives here aren't so pure as that. The front of the church just happened to be the last stop of Damien's tour before he had to run off. By the way, who is that vampire-looking girl that just walked out of the church? Oh, that's Arya. She comes in here every once in a while during off hours. I feel she hasn't accepted yet the promptings of the Holy Spirit to accept the Lord into her life. But at least she seems content in the chapel's serene atmosphere. Far be it from me to prevent her from spending time in the presence of the Blessed Sacrament. What she does in here is little concern to me unless she wishes to make it known. A non-religious vampire in a church. Huh. I've heard many strange things, but you can't get more out of place than that. I wonder if she just has a complicated background. I won't judge her for it. Live and let live, I suppose. By the way, you may not know much about them, but daywalkers usually don't like being referred to as vampires. They are of different natures, after all. Sorry, I have a feeling I'm going to be learning a lot of new things about monster people. Fortunately, Damien did extend an invitation to me to open up for questions, so I'll catch up with him and talk on that stuff later. It's good to know about the people you'll be around every day, even more so for a Christian whose divine purpose is to witness to all peoples. Anyways, if you have anything on your mind that's bothering you, I can offer you absolution or advice. Whatever you're comfortable with, though the former will be more spiritually effective. It's always good to start with a fresh air. It's always good to start fresh in a new school, after all. I don't really have a reason to refuse. It would be nice to have a clean slate going to this new school, but a bit of God's grace never hurt either. Amen. It's been quite a while since I have, after all. I've mostly just gone through the motions of going to church. Maybe this could be the start of getting back on track and being more faithful. Might also be useful to clear my mind of any doubts surrounding the fight from my previous school. Yeah, I think I will take you up on that offer, actually. But it's been a while, so forgive me if I'm a little rusty. In that case, I'll guide you along the way. But if you prefer to brush up and meditate in private, we have pamphlets on the side over there. Any werewolves in that game? I don't know yet. There are other monster types. There are cat girls. So I assume there are cat boys. There was a cat girl in a screenshot. I don't think she's romanceable yet, but I think in the full game she will be. This is just a demo. If she is in the full game, I will 100% be coming back to this game. Meow. He points to a shelf on the wall with many different informational pamphlets ranging from confession to dealing with loss. Thanks, Father. I'll do just that. Splendid. I'll head back into the confessional booth then. You come in whenever you are ready. Father John smiles back warmly. I can feel that he's a genuine person who really cares about his students. He turns on his heels and treads reverently towards the confessional. Grabbing one of the pamphlets, I unfold the tract and skim through the beginning. According to this, it's good to start with an exclamation of conscience. It says that sins can be categorized using the 7 deadly sins, which you can use as a guide to determine what you have done wrong. Greed, lust, wrath, gluttony, envy, sloth, and the father of all sins, pride. Greed doesn't seem to be a sin that I struggle with. Granted, I've been blessed with a life where I haven't wanted for much. Gluttony, envy, and pride haven't reared their ugly heads in my life much either. Though it could be pride to think of like that in the first place. I'll have to meditate on that further another time. I can't say I've dealt with lust before, but I usually keep myself too busy to fall in that temptation very often. Plus, we keep our computers in a common family area, so I usually try to steer clear of any sites that might provoke unwanted parental attention. As far as sloth goes, I can definitely afford to be more diligent in my prayer life and increase my acts of service to others. And if I'm wrong about my idea of justice concerning the fight, then wrath can be a concern of as well. I mean, I don't think I was wrong to do what I did. I was helping someone to get out of a bad situation after all. It can't hurt to get some clarification on things, so I'll ask anyways. I'm definitely still holding some resentment for the unjust punishments that my previous school doled out on me, however. I take all of these thoughts and meditate over them in the pews for a few minutes, trying to think of anything I may have forgotten. You're not the only one. We all have our issues. Everyone has their own issues. And you know what? God has forgiven you if you ask for forgiveness. There is no sin too great for his love and for his forgiveness. He has already cleansed you of your sins. All you have to do is accept and believe in him. Well, I'm going to be spawn camming someone on Minecraft realm. You have fun with that. I will be here reading along. And yeah. Trying to get a girlfriend. I will get a girlfriend by the end of the stream. Hopefully. Finishing my meditations, I decide that I'm prepared for my first confession in quite a while. Alright, I think I'm ready to go. First, all my 65 diamond blocks and 30 my diamonds will know my wrath. I feel that. I stand up out of my seat and heads towards the confessional booth. With my offhand holding onto the pamphlet, I take hold of the door and go inside where Father John is waiting. I close the door behind me. The door makes an audible click. I wonder if I should sit in front of Father John or not, since that appears to be optional according to what I just read. I'm gonna sit behind the screen. I choose to sit behind the screen. After all, it doesn't matter if he can see me or not, or hear my confession and give me penance. To hear my confession and give me penance. I begin reading off the pamphlet a formulaic introductory. I cannot read. Oh my goodness. Formulaic introductory prayer that seems to simplify the beginning of the sacrament. I confess to Almighty God and to you, Father, that I have sinned. It's been quite a while since my last confession. First off, I can be more diligent against sloth by strengthening my prayer life and increasing my acts of service to my fellow man. Very good, son. I am glad you have decided to come back again. It is required by the church to go at least once a year. We can all use a little extra grace more often, can't we? Plus, we all fall short of the glory of God, so he is there to help us. As for your lack of good works, there are plenty of opportunities here on campus for acts of service for you, if that is what you seek. Do you have anything else you would like to confess? Yes, Father. So I'm not exactly sure if this is a sin or not due to the circumstances, but the reason I left my old school is that I had gotten myself into a fight while defending someone else who was in an uncomfortable situation. Two sleazeballs were aggressively hitting on a monster girl, and she clearly told them she wasn't interested. One thing led to another, and I ended up kicking one of them in the gut to get away after he got a few good punches on me. Well, Are you confessing or are you bragging? Father John chuckles to himself for a bit. I'm only joking. Of course, there are times when our anger goes too far and becomes wrath. But anger in itself is a useful tool. When you are using that tool to defend yourself or others, it becomes what is known as righteous anger. Something that even Jesus did when he flipped tables in the temples. This is very true. Righteous anger is a real thing, and yes. What of the whole dialogue of turn the other cheek Jesus spoke of? I figured I would take this opportunity to get that question answered since it seems like a contradiction. In biblical times, there were many customs that needed to be taken into context today, including certain idioms that were popular in that day. In this instance, Jesus was teaching people that if someone insulted you or slapped you on one cheek, that you should invite them to do it again on the other. He was pointing out the frivolity of such actions. There is nothing to be gained by returning an insult to someone who only wishes ill of you. However, that doesn't apply to the case when you or someone else is in imminent danger. Such is the case, we defer to the other passages concerning the defense of the innocent and of righteous anger. Thank you for clearing that up for me, Father. I feel like I already knew that, but I'm glad to know that my sense of justice isn't too far from what the church teaches. I have a lot of thinking to do about this. I'm thankful that he's both knowledgeable and understanding. It's really reassuring that there are people who can give clear and concise answers like this. I would also like to confess my resentments against the administrators of the school. I know I was right, but it's probably not healthy to hold on to anger like that. Understandable anger in the face of unjust punishment. But yes, it would be healthy to let it go. Instead, pray that they will gain the wisdom that comes from God to judge righteously and with justice. Those are all the sins I can recall at this time. In that case, before I give you your penance, I would suggest joining one of the school clubs, each of which should give you an opportunity to serve others, God, and yourself. For your actual penance, I want you to pray and meditate the Lord's Prayer, focusing on the words, Our Father, especially in the fact that he loves us so much as to humble himself so far as to allow us to call him so familiarly, Abba, Father, as we are his children. And finally, I want you to say a prayer for those who were tormenting you and your friend, as well as the administrators at your former school. It may be hard to do, but pray for a conversation of heart, that they may become better people through Jesus our Lord. That might be fairly difficult for me with how I feel about them, but I'll give it some thought. For now, pray an act of contrition. That's a new word for me. Looking back down the tract, I say the prayer at the end, which appears to hit all the right meanings as it was tempered over time throughout the ages. As I try to focus on what all the words truly mean, I begin to remember some of it from my faith formation classes. Perhaps I remembered more than I thought. As I finish, Father John begins his final prayer of absolution. God, the Father of mercies, through the death and resurrection of his Son, has reconciled the world to himself, and sent the Holy Spirit among us for the forgiveness of sins. Through the ministry of the Church, may God give you pardon and peace, and I absolve you from your sins in the name of the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. At those words, I absolve you from your sins, I felt a deep warmth and even a shiver inside me. The Holy Spirit? I cannot say, but I won't doubt it. Amen. And thank you, Father. Anytime, son. I stand up again, reflecting on the great mystery that I just participated in. Maybe there's something to more of these sacraments that I've been giving attention to. I gently retreat through the door of the confessional and close it behind me. I've not become better as a person. I've gotten older. I've gotten worse. That can happen. As time goes on, most people change. And you start to notice more the wrong you do. But the fact that you notice the wrong that you do is a good sign. You can't be helped if you don't realize you're doing something wrong. Yeah. Yeah, you haven't lost all hope. You haven't. There is still hope for everyone. There is no one too far gone for his forgiveness or his love. Meow. Still in a reverent state of mind, I start walking down the aisle, heading towards the front of the church to pray. As I pass near the front pews, I notice a certain succubus that I met earlier praying by herself. Aren't they supposed to be related to demons somehow? I instantly dismiss the thought, even though I know demons don't have physical bodies. Reality is, I may still have some more biases left over from the media I consume and the students at my old school. She looks up at me, a little surprised, but averting her eyes back down into the book she holds in her hand, trying very hard to evade my notice. I decide to let her be as start to pass her by when I hear a small voice behind me. Hey, is Father John ready for another confession? Turning back around, I see her looking up at me from behind the book. Doesn't appear to be the one she hit Clover with on the head earlier. I believe so. I don't see anyone else behind me before I went in, besides that Daywalker girl who left. So you're good to go. Are you? You mean? Anyway, thanks. She gives me a short nod and hurries toward the confessional booth, her tail trailing behind her into the little room. Her eyes are very pretty, I will say. I can only presume what a succubus girl would confess, but I won't be uncharitable. Allowing the thought to escape my mind, I find an empty space near the front to pray and perform my penance. Lord, I know we don't talk much, except during morning prayers, but thank you for letting me have the opportunity to confess my sins to you this evening. Next, I pray the Our Father, focusing on the beginning like Father John said. The idea that an almighty being would humble himself to create us all and call us his children is astonishing, if I really think about it. It really is. Like, honestly, though. Like, he created everything, and he lowered himself to our lowly existence, our fallen and messed up existence, to where he wanted to be so familiar with us that we could call him Father. Like, that's insane. The being that created the entirety of everything coming down and becoming equal. Wow. Oof. Oof, that hit me. Oof. Ooh, that hit me. You know, this was a great game to play, chat. This was a great game to play. Whoa. Ooh, that one. You know, God is good, y'all. God is real good. Yeah. Ooh, wow. That one. Ooh. Amen. Anyway, I started meditating on all the difference. Is it possible to date the males? No, not in this game. You play as a male, so no. I start meditating on all the different parts of the prayer and their meanings. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. When I pray this as a rote prayer in the morning, the meaning slips by me, but there does seem to be a lot more to it now that I'm slowing down. You won't play that game? Well, you can watch me play. Meow. Is this a standard by which God will judge us? Will God hold it against me even if I don't forgive others of their sins? What if I don't forgive those bullies and simply never bully anyone else. Is that sufficient forgiveness in God's eyes? I ponder this and more in silence while I think of something to say to God about those who wronged me as well. God, I know you saw everything that happened then. Father John told me I was not entirely in the wrong for self-defense part, but I am sorry for the resentments that I've been holding on to. Please bring those people to a better mindset and a better understanding of what they did to the both of us. And help me to always be aware of my anger so that I only use it as a tool for righteousness. Amen. I hope that's acceptable. I always feel awkward talking to God on a personal level. Perhaps it's like any other relationship. It just needs to get better with time. I can't improve my relationship with God if I never talk to him after all. That's very true. That's why I try to remind y'all every morning, like, hey, don't forget to spend some time with God. Because he does want to spend time with you. Because he does love you. Very, very much. And he wants to spend time with you. And he wants to be with you. No, don't turn off. There we go. Done with my prayer and penance, I stand back up and prepare to leave the church. Before I leave, I dip a finger into the holy water font and make the sign of the cross for a quick blessing while walking out of the door. Stepping outside, I notice that the sun has already set over the tree line. I look around at the empty courtyard in front of the chapel. The daywalker I saw earlier sitting on a bench, quickly typing into her phone.
Pizza time.
I see. Well, come on in. Just as she apologizes. Wow, I can't read. Just as she finishes writing and lowering her phone, I approach her to apologize for startling her before. Ooh. Hey.
少しお待ちください。
Hi.
チョキチョキチョキ。カタカタカタ。
Hey. Sorry about earlier. I know the church is supposed to be a place of meditation, and I didn't mean to interrupt your concentration. Don't worry about it. I was just taking down notes and a few ideas that were stuck in my head. Are you a writer then, perhaps? Something like that, I guess. I see. Well, I won't keep you from what you're doing. You're around campus then. I turn to leave to find my way to the dorms, but then I remember I don't know how to get through them from here. Actually, do you know where the guys' dorms are from here? I'm a new transfer student. My name is Gabe, by the way. I'm Arya, but yeah, go back around the building, that building over there. Go straight for a while until you pass a big tree, and you'll notice it when you get there. By the way, are you a junior? Yeah, how'd you guess? You just seemed a little younger than me, that's all. I'll see you around campus then. She picks up her stuff and heads in a roughly the opposite direction of where she directed me to go. Younger than her, I guess. I guess that means Arya is a senior? It's going good. I'm really enjoying it. I've already been hit with a revelation. The Catholicism stuff is interesting. As a non-denominational Catboy. Yeah, no, it's just they're talking about, if I go back in the history a little bit. Where is it? So we did a whole prayer thing, and this part kind of hit me. Where is it? No, where is it? This part kind of hit me. This part right here. The idea that the Almighty Being would humble himself to create us and call us his children is astonishing. I think about it. It really is crazy to think about, like, the creator of the entire universe just came down to us. Hi. Hi, baby. came down to us and became human to connect with us on a personal level and humbles himself to where we can commune with him and like talk to him as a father, and allows himself to be called father, which is it just blew my mind a little bit. Like, it hit me again. I was like, oh, that's it's wild that God does that for us. And you know, it just shows that he really does love us so very much. Meow. Yes, my kitty is yelling at me. She wants some attention. Luckily, this game isn't super intensive and I can pet her. God is love. He really is. I wonder what she was writing on her phone. I guess I'll just have to get to know her better to pierce the veil of that mystery that surrounds her. I set off in the direction that Arya pointed to earlier and make my way to the dorms to hydrate. Yeah, you're right. I need water. I've been talking this entire time. I'm sitting up. I'm sitting up. I promise. My ears. Finally, I make the turn near the big tree, just as Arya described, and I see the dorms in the distance. Walking through the common area, I see a handful of other students hanging out. I see a handful of other students hanging out, catching up before classes begin tomorrow morning. How dare you, AJ? Yeah. I overhear a conversation about the games that they played instead of the weekend homework.
It's becoming increasingly obvious. I can deny it no longer. I am small.
I am now tiny. I've been muted twice today, by the way. Scruffy and Historical went crazy. I think they took clips. I don't know. They went crazy. I overhear a conversation about the games they played instead of weekend homework, while another is talking about a girl he's crushing on one grade below him. You press button. I can see you press button. Continuing into the hallways. Oh no. Hi, Roki. Yes, I am a tiny cat. Meow. Oh, meow. Meow. You having thoughts again? It happens more than once a day. You know, struggling with the sin is not easy. And sometimes it hits us more than others. Make sure my cat doesn't see me. Yes. Yeah, she's okay. She's gentle-ish, not really. No. I'll be fine. But yeah, sin is definitely a struggle. It's not easy. Hi, Jam.
Pizza time.
And some days are harder than others. But God's grace is sufficient for each and every day. And he already knows the mistakes you make. And he already knows, he's already forgiven it as long as you believe and confess it to him. And he will help you if you ask him. That's one thing I've learned, is that he will always help you. Always. May not look like what you think it will look like, but he will help you. Always. Because he loves you. Continue into the hallways. I look for my room. Number 143. Right here. I open the door and take my first steps inside. My bags are in the middle of the room where my parents must have left them. Amen. There's a note on the luggage that says simply, "We love you, Gabriel, and we hope you have a great semester at your new school. If you ever need us, don't hesitate to call. Love, Mom and Dad." Imagine having parents, chat. Imagine having parents. Couldn't be me. Meow. I gather my things and put them where they belong. They probably won't remain orderly for long, but I may as well put them in their proper place while I'm thinking about it. Want to swap pizza? I got steak and mushroom. I set my laptop up on my desk and my Bible on my bedside table for the finishing touches. Imagine having loving parents. I know, right? Imagine that, Roki. Imagine that. Couldn't be me. Oh, couldn't be me. God is the best father. Yeah, see, with your loving parents, with your parents that love you or whatever. Imagine that. Imagine that. Let us have our trouble. We have our trouble. Meow. I set up my laptop on my desk, my Bible on my bedside table for the finishing touches. Today has been a very different day. Today's been very different compared to what I'm used to. God is the best parent. That's what I was trying to say. Yes, he is the best parent. He is the best father. He is the perfect father. And we can always rely on him. Besides coming to an entirely new school, I've had more face-to-face conversations with monster people in a day than I think I've had in the past year. Not like they're a rarity or anything. I just never had much reason to interact with them for today. I mean, it's not like the monster people are all that common. This school just has a lot more of them than anywhere else I visited. I wonder if the whole town is like this. Regardless, if I'm gonna be around a lot of monster people, I better start getting to know them a little bit better. Who knows? Maybe I'll get a new best friend or two. Damien seems like a nice enough guy. I wonder if he's sincere about being open to any questions about monster people. Considering how important he seems around here, I better stick close to him if I want a chance to get to know people. He already introduced me to so many people. Sarah had a bright and preppy personality. She seems like the kind of person that could brighten up your day no matter what's going on in your life. Ren, on the other hand, came off as the type of friend who wouldn't just help you through a tough situation, but train you through it too. Now, Clover was an interesting sight. It's not every day you see a slime person. There must be only like 50,000 or so in the whole planet. Maybe a few more in other countries? I have to shamelessly admit, Eva caught me off guard. I never put much thought into it. I've only seen succubi depicted in TV shows as either teasingly sassy or overtly sultry. But nothing in Eva's mannerisms suggests anything of the sort. In fact, she's one of the only monster people I met today inside the church. In line for confession, no less. Arya, on the other hand, is exactly how I've seen Daywalkers portrayed. Not to stereotype or anything. She came across to me as mysterious, ethereal, and maybe a little bit edgy. Though she was in the church, so maybe there's something about her I'm not seeing? That goes to show how little I know about monster people. As my mind races over the events of the day and the people I've met, I drift into a restless sleep, still not used to my surroundings. Real. The tone of my alarm clock eases me awake. It does not ease me awake, I can guarantee you that. It does not ease me awake. Meow. Hey, David headband. Meow. My eyes open to an unfamiliar ceiling. I must have been exhausted. Imagine being able to sleep in a new place. I would have been awake all night. I cannot sleep in an unfamiliar room. It's rough. It's rough. I must have been exhausted last night because I don't even remember setting my alarm. I grabbed my phone from the bedside table and checked the time. It's 6:30 a.m. If only I could wake up at 6:30 a.m. I force my body into an upright position and swing my legs over the side of the bed. Oh, excuse me. Rubbing my eyes, I start monitoring my morning ritual. 10 squats, 10 push-ups, 15 sit-ups. Might not seem like a lot, but doing it each morning helps me wake up and give me energy. I do not have time in the mornings to do that. I do not. I grab a towel and my shower gear and head into the bathroom. After checking the temperature for a few seconds to make sure it's ideal, I step into the warm water. Call me weak, but I always find a warm morning shower gently waking me up a lot less stressful than a cold shower full of energy. I prepare my mind for the day by meditating in the shower and reciting my morning prayers. Praying in the shower is real. That is real. That is real. That is real. This time I pay a little more attention to the words I'm saying after last night. It's always been the simple Our Father and any other little thing that's been on my mind. Sometimes something my dad taught me when I was younger. While your mind is still waking up, focus your will on God and the rest of your day will go his way. You know, that's a great way to think. That's a great way to think. Personally, in the mornings, while I'm driving to work is when I do my prayers. Because it's a 20-minute drive. It's a nice time to just talk to God a bit about the day. Just learn that your favorite god in the Elder Scrolls is a Daeatric Prince. Still like him, he's seen chill and sour. Interesting. Yeah. At the very least, it has always helped me clear my mind and focus on my goals for the day. Today's primary goal was paying attention in class so I'm not left behind. I'm a month behind everyone else after all. The school sent me a homework package before I arrived with the expectation that it would catch me up at least. As I'm meditating on the day, I wonder if other people's morning rituals have any resemblance to my own. After finishing up in the shower, I put on my uniform and scarf down a quick breakfast bar for my morning meal. It's not ideal nutrition, but it does the job of holding me over till lunch. Always have breakfast, chat. Always have breakfast. Ugh. All the other guys wearily make their way through the hall and out the doors onto the campus. I follow the steady but disconnected stream of students heading from all over into the main school building. As I enter the classroom, I am greeted by a familiar face. Good morning, Gabe. Did you find your way over here all right? Such a bright and cheery attitude this early leaves no doubt in my mind that she is a morning person. Good morning, Sarah. You're here early. I don't really know much about Elder Scrolls. I never really played it. That's interesting. Class doesn't start for another 10 minutes. Well, you know what they say. The early bird gets the worm. Though I can't really stand to touch worms. It's just slimy. Now that makes me wonder if harpies actually do eat worms. Though I'm too afraid to ask. Anyway, speaking of worms, here comes Ren. That's crazy. I follow Sarah's gaze to the door and watch as Ren enters with a backpack slung over his shoulder with one hand. What's happening, Sarah? Morning, new guy. Oh, I get it. Worm as in... Never mind. Oh, good morning. Have you met Gabe yet? Yeah. Oof. I gotta get a good... I feel like she would have a deeper voice. I gotta get a good voice for her going. Yeah. Whoa, that's not good. Hold on. We're gonna figure this out, chat. We're gonna figure this out. So, oof. Voices are hard. Women voices are hard. As a man, Sarah's voice is easy. It's bright and cheery. She's more aggressive, so I gotta have an aggressive voice for her. Yeah, he was following Damien around like a lost puppy yesterday. I hear he's pretty good at sports. Ooh, you'll have it to show us in gym today. Depending on how good your skills are, I'm gonna have to scout you for the basketball team. Not if I get him into the martial arts club first. Sarah and Ren continue fighting over which club I'm going to be forced to join as they take their seats. Imagine being fought over by two women. Oh my gosh, chat. Imagine being fought over by two women. Oh, it's great. It's great. With my gaze still focused towards the doorway, I notice Clover and Eva entering the room. Eva looks in my direction. Listen! A man can dream. Okay, let a cat dream. Let a cat dream, Roki. Let a cat dream. Eva looks in my direction and shyly raises her hand in a short greeting before finding her seat. As she does... I deserve that. As she does this, she looks more directly at me and blushes a bit before focusing her attention back to Clover. I wonder if because I saw her before confessional last night. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. Yeah, laugh it up, Roki, laugh it up. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. I was there for myself too, after all. While I'm thinking to myself, Clover sleeplessly walks her way in, but still manages to find her seat despite this. Damien walks in soon after and gives me the quick yo with his signature hand wave and finds a seat. He looks about as tired as Clover. I wonder if his student council duties extend into the weekend or even late at night. I cannot pronounce that word. You can't help yourself. That's fair. That's... Listen, the buttons are there to be pressed. You know, if I deserve it, I deserve it. A human. There's a Catboy! Chat! Chat! There's a Catboy! Cat people confirmed! Cat people confirmed! I'm not the only one here! Let's go! Let's go! Catboy! Catboy! Cat people are here! Cat people are real! There better be a cat girl! And when this game comes out, she better be more randomable! Let's freaking go! She better be more randomable! This is just a demo! She's not. You wanted it, the Catboy. That's... okay. You know? Anyway, one by one, a bunch of other students walk by and fill up the empty seats nearby. By the time class is about to start, I'm still left awkwardly standing around near the front of the class. Fortunately, I'm saved by the teacher who opens the door, and soon after... she's a sheep! Or a goat. She's a goat. That's adorable. This is adorable. Good morning, class. A nun in her habit floats gently into the classroom. My eyes focus on two circular horns affixed to the side of her headdress. I notice that there is a cloth belt wrapped around her waist, to which is affixed a rosary. Her left hand is adorned with a plain silver ring on her ring finger. Obviously, she's not married, but if I had to guess, it's likely a symbol of her perpetual vow of chastity. The other students quickly wrap up their conversations and take their seats. I'm left standing awkwardly at the front of the class, waiting to be assigned a seat. I take a quick note of the whiteboard where the teacher's name is written, Sister Talia. Sister Talia. Today, we have a new transfer student from a town 3 hours over. Gabe, why don't you introduce yourself? I should have expected to be put on the spot like this. I quickly think of some basic things to say that sound suffice as an introduction. Hey all, my name's Gabe. I've grown up a lifelong Catholic, and I usually like to stay out of the center of attention. I'm a good ways away from home, so I hope to get to know a lot more people here. You finish hoping that's good enough. I could have mentioned casual sports, gaming, or music, but I didn't think it would be worth mentioning them. I just dabble in a lot of different hobbies, but don't excel at anything in particular. Real and true, brother. Real and true. That's me. I'm average. I'm average at everything. Meow. The class applauds and welcome as Sister Talia points me out to a seat near the window. Fortunately, it's right next to Damien and in front of Sarah. She gives me a wide grin and excitedly shifts up and down in her chair as I approach. I take my seat as the teacher begins the day. I hope you all are well... wow, I can't read. I hope you all are nearly done reading a book from last week's assignment. There will be a quiz this Friday depending on the book you chose. Most of the other students... excuse me, wow, that was weird. Most of the other students groan at this news. Hey, Real. Since you're coming in part way through the assignment, I will delay your quiz and allow you the weekend to catch up. We're going over the books and our Protestant brethren have written, then comparing and contrasting them to the many values we share in common. You can pick one of these 3 titles by C.S. Lewis. She hands me a sheet of paper with the assignment on it. The books in question are Mere Christianity, Screw Tape Letters, and The Abolition of Man. These are great books, by the way, Chad. These are great books. I'll have to check one of these out at the library later today. It shouldn't be a problem. I'm a fairly quick reader. I stick the paper in a binder for safekeeping and return my attention to the front of the classroom. Each of these books provide us with a different perspective in which to view the world under the Christian lens using religious reasoning and philosophical reasoning. Wow, I can't read. Under the world under the Christian lens using religious reasoning, philosophical reasoning, and narrative. Hi. Welcome on in. Oh, you're in an ad. I'll say hi afterwards. C.S. Lewis famously once stated, "I believe in Christianity as I believe in the sun that has risen, not only because I see it, but because by it I see everything else." Hi, Mystic! Welcome in. Thank you for the boop. What he meant by this is not that simply Christianity can explain the things which we may not yet know in the sciences. Hi, welcome back from the ads. Conrad Soto, welcome on in. First time chatter. Welcome to the alleyway. How you doing? How'd you find me? What's your, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your favorite color? Meow. We're playing a Wholesome Monster Girl Academia, and it's pretty great so far. I'm gonna get a girlfriend. I'm gonna do it. Need something to nom? There's pizza. Yes, also, Conrad. Get your daily slice of pizza, meow. It's 1 channel point, and you get one every single stream, once per stream. Yeah, there's also a ton of buttons you can press. Ton of buttons. Meow. But back to the game. But with that, within this world, one worldview, all sorts of why questions can be answered. Not in the casual sense, but as far as the sense, why should anything matter? Found you because you posted that you were playing in the game's Discord. Favorite color is blue, but on what scale? In the game's Discord, huh? What? I am confused. Scale is 10. Good. Huh? Who? I'm so lost. Please explain yourself. Meow. Yeah. I'm a Christian Catboy, variety streamer. And today's variety is this game in honor of Valentine's Day because I am lonely. But I'm gonna get a girlfriend in this game, yeah! Woo! Wholesome Monster Girl Academia has a Discord set up by the dev, the community folks chat. Oh, that's fun. I did not know that. And they saw the one person streaming this on the day before Valentine's. They're like, hey, this guy's streaming it. Welcome on in. That's pretty fun. That's pretty fun. And that's okay, AJ. You don't have to get a girlfriend. It's not required that you need to be in a relationship. Meow. But yeah, this game's pretty fun so far. I quite like it. I definitely already don't have a favorite. Meow. Meow. I just hope when the full game comes out that cat people are romanceable. Yeah. Meow. It has an answer for every moral question and quandary, and when viewed as a whole, holds no rational contradiction. You just want something to cuddle? That's fair. That's fair. Same. That's why I have a cat. Cats are great. My cat, I love cuddling her. She does not enjoy cuddling back, but I love cuddling her. It's how she pays rent. Yeah. And I love her very much. Where are you? She's hiding under the bed. But she is adorable and I love her. And when there appears to be a contradiction, it's usually due to a faulty personal interpretation. For Catholics, this isn't a problem since we can refer to church teaching through the magisterium. That's a new word for me. Now, the magisterium was established to keep and organize the findings of the church, as it has for the 2 millennia of its existence and beyond. All this religious theology right off the bat on the first day is a lot to take in. Yeah, it is. I believe it all, of course, but it's unreal to see it taught in a classroom. Oh, it's me. I'm doing my own voice. Whoa, I need to pay attention. I wonder what the world would be like if basic religion and philosophy were taught in public schools. Yeah. Would it be at least encourage more thoughtful discourse? This is a great question. Who really knows? I think about Arya for a moment, remembering that Father John said she isn't religious. I wonder if she cares about being taught about religious philosophy, or if she just expects it, having been enrolled in Catholic education. Sister Talia calls out to various students about what they've learned so far. Her first victim is Clover, who, with more coyness than shame, admits that she hasn't started reading it yet. Sister Talia just shakes her head and sighs. Sarah whispers behind me,
Clover is a big-time gamer, so she's more likely to stay up late on her computer than read. That being said, she's super smart naturally, so it wouldn't even surprise me if she doesn't have to study all that much to get good grades. It's probably why Sister Talia isn't too hard on her.
Sister Talia's next target is Eva, who I thought would act more timidly in front of the class. Instead, she surprises me with a confident answer. Sarah speaks up again behind me, confirming my suspicions about Eva's hobbies.
If you haven't noticed already, Eva is obsessed with reading. Although she's a lot more book smart than what you might call street smart.
Sarah, do you have anything you would like to add to the discussion?
No, Sister Talia. Sorry, ma'am.
Sarah zips her lips tight. I can practically feel the redness from her cheeks radiating behind me. That's great. Class continues along with no more interruptions from Sarah. I suppose she learned her lesson. After class, the class pours into the hallway for lunch. I expect most of the students are heading to the cafeteria, so I follow them since I don't remember exactly where it's from yesterday's tour. The menu seems typical of any other school cafeteria. A build-your-own sandwich station with a simple salad bar and a main item of the day. Today, it looks like burgers or chicken fingers with a few vegetable sides. Chicken fingers, chicken fingers, chicken. Since I don't recognize anyone inside, I grab a plate, load it up, and head outside. The sun shines brightly on everyone in the courtyard. Straight for gore, tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Yeah. 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 It's Valentine's Day tomorrow. At first school, had a class called Christianity. It taught me a lot about stuff about the Ice Age and some stuff about the Bible. I didn't learn much because I was drawing and we were allowed to draw. That's fun. That's fun. Drawing is fun. I'm terrible at it, but it's fun to do things, even if you're bad at them. That's why I play video games. I'm terrible at them, but I have fun, and that's what matters. The sun shines brightly on everyone in the courtyard. Everyone is either sitting and eating at a picnic tables or standing around talking to each other under the shaded trees. On one side of the courtyard, I spy Sarah and Ren at one of the picnic tables where there are several unoccupied seats. They appear to be having an animated conversation about something. I feel bad about interrupting them, but I don't see anyone else I know around here. Sarah seems very sociable, so I don't think it will be a problem. Yeah, we don't talk about that. Yeah, Roki, we don't talk about that. Tomorrow is just Saturday. Tomorrow is just Saturday. It is just Saturday. And YouTube, if you're watching this later, if you got this far, yeah, it's just, it's already passed. It's already passed. Meow. I might have to be worried about Ren, however, since she seems like she wants to measure up my athletic abilities. I should take this chance to go get to know them a little bit better. I approach them while they're still actively chatting. Looks like Sarah chose the chicken fingers as most of her food is still on her plate. Meanwhile, Ren is responding with a mouthful of her burger. Real, Ren, that's so real. Anyway, he was telling me that a gallon of milk a day is the fastest way to bulk up muscle. And when he finished drinking the whole jug, he spewed it all over the sidewalk. That's great. Ren lets out an uproarious laughter as she washes down her burger with her own bottle of what looks like a protein shake. Real! There is no obvious which one I like. There is no obvious. It's not obvious, chat. Sarah chuckles at Ren's story, then notices me approaching. She waves me over and motions me to the bench attached to the table. Hi, Gabe! Ren was just telling me about a guy at her gym who was trying to give her, of all people, tips on how to bulk up. And he didn't even realize they have the decency to try my routine after he embarrassed himself like that. Girly Pop built different. Well, I've arrived late, so I've yet to see which one you like. LOL. Girly Pop is built different. You know You know, I'm a pretty, you're gonna learn quickly. I'm a very obvious person. I do not hide much. I do not hide much. Also, if you like what you see, you should totally give me a follow, meow. Yeah. Rin takes another chug of her shake, and then with a wide motion, wipes away the milk stash it leaves behind. So we hear you're somewhat of an athlete yourself. What's your game? An athlete? I am not. But I did play a little basketball in elementary school and did taekwondo in middle school. My dad coached me on the basketball team, but I couldn't say I've kept my skill set. And I've only got as far as advanced blue belt in martial arts classes. I thought to mention those two because they were relevant. I also tried swimming once, but I wouldn't want to have to admit that I quit after I lost my swim trunks during an initial time while practicing before a competition. Yeah, I would quit too, buddy. I would quit too if that happened to me. It'd be all over. I'd be... In fact, I would exit life. That's me. At least only the guys' team saw that incident. Don't be so modest. I'm sure you're pretty good at something. Yeah, you stood your ground when I decked your shoulder yesterday, didn't you? Ow. My hand instinctively moves to my shoulder where she punched me yesterday. Meow. I roll it around a bit and can still feel some of the bruise she left, but I laughed it off anyways. No sweat. It only left a little mark. It wasn't dislocated or anything. Ren chuckles at my remark, eyeing my shoulder as I rotate it around in its socket. Well, since you know a little about us already, what kind of things were you into at your old school? Wow. Thank you for the hydrate.
But it's becoming increasingly obvious. I can deny it no longer. I am small.
I am now tiny once again. She just wants to see more of Ren. That's what it is, chat. Crumbs. That's what it is. Sarah. C wanted to get me off the screen to see more of Ren. Maxwell! Why is your tooth hurting? It's not 2:30. It is not 2:30. Your teeth cannot hurt. It is 8:51. You missed your chance for 2:30. You got like 5 more hours. No, it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. You got 6 more hours till it's 2:30 time. Meow. I'm being honest when I say I didn't have a lot of focused hobbies. But I can pick one of my minor hobbies that I know these two are into and go with that. That's crazy. No, it's not. It's really not. It's not 2:30. It's 8:51 p.m. It is not 2:30. I don't know what's so crazy about that. Yeah? You don't know why your tooth hurts? Sensitive teeth. It goes hard. I have them. Meow. What should we pick? Probably basketball. I feel like, basketball is more her thing. I want to do more her thing. Pressing the scroll wheel or H that hides the UI. Big information here. Big information here. Oh, thank you, Sarto. That's great. That's fantastic. Good to know. Good to know. A real one over here. A real one. Meow. I did not look over the keybinds before this at all. Alright, I'm picking up who you like. Yeah, so it's not hard. It's not hard to see. It is really not hard to see. I fear I have a type. And I know there's a cat girl in this game. As a cat boy, meow. I know there's a cat girl in this game. And I thought I saw somewhere where they were talking about making her romanceable in the full update. We get to see great character designs now. Yeah, that's what we get to see. That's what we get to see. The character designs. That's what we see. Meow. That's what we see. Anyway, we're going martial arts. Well, even though I didn't get very far, I kind of did like the taekwondo classes I took back then. I dropped it out of it just before high school, which I have a minor regrets over. The advanced blue belt rank wasn't very high, but I'm confident that I learned through each to be able to throw and dodge good punch. Meow. Ow. Ow. They're so much bigger than me now, because I'm tiny. Ow. Take it for a head pass. Hey, another fellow Ren fan. My brother! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! But when the full game comes out, if they make that cat girl romanceable, I might have a change of heart. You might say. You might say. Meow. I'm only slightly biased. I don't think Ren's on. Well, you know, we all have our preferences. Meow. Hey, y'all know each other. Let's go. Let's go. Advanced Blue Belt. Oh yeah, I read this. Yeah. Well, I know. Well, blah, blah. Well, you know that any good and wow, I cannot read. Yeah. Well, you know that any and all types of martial arts are my jam. I could help you build upon what you already learned and whip you back into shape. Meow. Give it some more serious thought. You make a great addition to the martial arts club. Guys, I'm joining the martial arts club. I'm joining the martial arts club. I don't know what you're doing. I'm joining the martial arts club. The martial arts club. Meow. Meow. Martial arts. Meow. I'm great at martial arts. I would martial arts. Martial arts. Meow. Meow. Martial arts. Yes. You know, M and Meow both start with martial arts, and M both start with M. Meow and the martial arts. I'm fumbling! I'm losing it! I'm fumbling! I'm fumbling! Ah! Meow. 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 I'm just... Woo! Is it getting hot in here? Is it me? I'm gonna turn up my AC a little bit. I'm taking off this blanket. Woo! I've got issues!
No.
Is it not getting on here, you and me? Meow! 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 Oh, man. No, okay, yep, that's fine. Okay. I got some consideration. I haven't made up my mind yet. Oh, I've made up my mind. I have made up my mind. Who is this person? I've made up my mind. Our conversations continue along the lines until the bell rings. Rin chucks down the rest of her shake, and Sarah neatly stacks the items on her trailer. I'm a terrible person. It was great catching up with you. Rin and I will go on ahead to make sure to take care of the trash. We'll see you in gym class a little bit later, all right? Enjoy your lurk, your Axel. Welcome on in. Thanks again, and yeah, see you there. You owe me sandwiches, by the way. What do you mean? Get your sandwich. Get your sandwich. What do you mean I owe you sandwiches? They're right there in front of you. All you gotta do is press the button. All you gotta do is press the button. Oh no. Anyway, I get my things and start heading to our next class. As I'm thinking about the conversations we had during lunch, I think back to the types of casual conversations I had with my old friends. Meow. I never really became that close to many people there. I usually would just hang out with the same few groups of friends, talking about the latest popular trending show or game that came out. Ooh, excuse me. I wonder if I'll ever have anything more meaningful than that, or if it's just something you have to get lucky enough to find for yourself. Am I at an advantage or disadvantage now that I have a fresh start? That's a great question. On one hand, I don't know anybody that well, so I don't know anyone that well yet, so I can make myself anew if I want. Tabula rasa. Ready to be molded into whatever I want or whatever a new friendship calls for. On the other hand, pre-existing friend groups might not have any incentive to open the door and ruin their current group's synergy. And I wouldn't really blame them for that either, I guess. At any rate, everyone seems to be getting along whether they are a monster person or a regular human. Does the religious nature of the school have anything to do with that? I hope merely being a part of the larger group, the larger faith community is good enough to open a door for anyone hoping to belong. That's what we should be as the church. That is what we should be as the church. We should open our doors to everyone because everyone deserves God's love and community. Woo! Surely it is, right? As I continued to think to myself in the hallway, I run into Arya, who, as I recall, wasn't outside during lunchtime. I wonder if the whole daywalk or anything has to do with it, considering the sunlight. I considered calling out to her, but changed my mind at the last second. Why would she want to talk to an underclassman anyways? Despite my insecurity, she looks up and notices me approaching. This catches me off guard, so I make a bold move to greet her. I would have puked and ran away. Hey. Gotta hear with that smolder. Hey. Smooth. Yeah, you're right. My boy Gabriel. Hit him with the hey. Smooth. Smooth operator up in here. She continues typing away on her cell phone, seeming to ignore me, and suddenly greets me back. Oh, what was her voice? Hey there, Gabe, was it? Since I ran into her yesterday, I've been curious about what kinds of things she was writing in her phone. She didn't deny being an author, but I got the feeling that she wasn't exactly writing a novel. Yeah, still making notes in your phone? Sure. That's not that it's anyone's business. Point taken, but I'm still curious. Arya looks back at her phone briefly and starts typing again as she never looked at me in the first place. Song ideas, lyrics, musical notation. I play guitar, so it helps to keep notes when I don't have it next to me. Okay, I can see that. Punk accessories, goth type makeup, standoffish attitude. I don't mean a profile, but she fits the bill. Meow. That's a new one for me. Will I get to hear any of it during music class? I did sign up for that as an elective after all. Words are hard. Probably not. We do mostly choir songs and popular music. I was asked to play once or twice, but I think they've given up on asking me to perform during class. Fair enough. They probably don't want to force anything. I know she's not religious considering what Father John said about her, so I'll probe a bit further and see why that might be. So do you do religious songs, or I mean, since you were in the church and all? Religion and I don't really get along. Spiritual at least then? Depending on how you look at it, maybe. That still doesn't explain why she was in the church. I have to ask more about more specific at another time. I don't want to push the issue too much further, after all, despite my curiosity. Alright, have fun. Alright, well, I won't keep you from your thoughts anymore. She resumes typing in her phone while walking beside me. Not very sociable, I guess, but at least she didn't shut me down. This is true. This is true. I'm still curious, it's still curious to me how a daywalker of all things came to be enrolled at a Catholic high school. It may be biased from living on the outside of their world, but it's my understanding that all vampires are evil due to how they become vampires. I know better than judge a book by its cover. I'm willing to bet it's more complicated than that. Nobody with a free will can automatically be condemned as evil without the possibility of redemption. This is very true. This is very true. I should get around to asking Damien about that sort of thing. Yep, Damien's probably better to ask than her. After all, Father John suggested that I should get to know more about monster people since I'll be around them a lot more now. The noise inside the basketballs and sneakers assaults my ears as I enter the gym. Some students have organized themselves into circles for warming up and stretching, while others seem to have started right away. Sarah and Ren are part of the former group. Other groups of students head straight toward the bleachers to socialize or read by themselves. Kind of defeats the purpose for a class dedicated to moving around, but I'm sure it's a welcome break for some. It comes to me as a surprise when Arya walks past me and takes a seat in the bleachers, still on her phone. I guess they combine a lot of different grades together for electives. That means I'll have her in both my music and gym classes. Also in the bleachers, I spot Clover, who's in a deep conversation with Eva. Eva looks like she's totally ignoring Clover while she reads a book. What a dynamic duo. Noticeably, Damien is absent from the whole picture. I wonder if he gets an excuse from PE due to student council.
Makeup Samurai has raided the alleyway with 3 peeps. Thank you and welcome on in.
Hi, Mako, welcome on in. Why did it? Oh, it tried to do the shout out thing. It didn't work. Anyway, shout out. I can't spell. Anyway, hi Mako, welcome on in. How were you? What were you up to? I didn't see what you were playing. What were you up to? How are you doing? What is up? If you don't know Mako, Mako's a great streamer. He is fantastic, and you should go follow him. He's a very funny fellow. Yeah. And yes, you are playing Overwatch. Oh no. Oh no. Not Overwatch 2/20. Meow. Welcome on in. But yeah. I'm Neon, in case you don't know me. Gross Overwatch. Well, just shoot him down. Why don't you see? Why don't you just shoot him down? I'm Neon, your favorite alleyway catboy. And today, we're getting a girlfriend. We're doing it! We're doing it! We're getting a girlfriend! We're getting a girlfriend! In Wholesome Monster Girl Academia. It's pretty great so far. I'm having fun. It's very Christian based, or Catholic based. It's very interesting. Coming from a non-Catholic. It's very interesting, and I'm having a great time. But yeah, thank you for the raid. I will take care of your peeps. If you got a raid to run, I totally understand. But if you want to hang out, grab a slice of pizza. It's 1 piece of trash. And yeah, back to the game. Yeah, I wonder if he gets an excuse from PE due to student council duties. At my other school, we used to do whatever activity or sport the PE coach directed everyone to do, but it appears that this school has a bit of a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah? Thank you for the yeah. I guess it's a matter of if I'm feeling more active and competitive today or not. I could see how my skills match up to Ren, or I could get to know the lazy bums and the bleachers better. Before I have a chance to choose, Ren calls out to me. Let's go! Oi! New guy! You better get geared up! I'm not letting you skip out on your first day here. Ha ha ha. Okay. Okay. Guess my mind is made up for me. Meow. I'm not blushing, you are. In that case, it's time to get my blood pumping and stretch out these muscles. It's a good thing I kept up with my daily morning workouts, so I won't be too out of shape for this. I head towards the group in which Sarah and Ren are stretching. There's a cat girl! Let's go! Woo! Cat girl! Confirmed! Woo! It's a cat girl! Hold on. It's a cat girl! Chat! I'm tweaking! Woo! Yeah! Meow! Ah! I need you to become a playable character! I need you to become romanceable in the full game! Please! And thank you very much. Meow! Woo! Adds in a minute for Paradigm Posteriors. Meow! Anyway. As I... he's totally cool, comic collected. Yeah, I'm cool, comic collected. Hey, look at her green eyes. They're so pretty. Meow. I'm not biased. I'm not biased at all. I'm not biased at all. Chat. This is woo! As I approach, Sarah beams a bright smile towards me. To one side of her, a short cat-type monster girl sizes me up. Ooh. Oh, I need to take this blanket off. Hi, Gabe! Ready to show off these skills you have against Ren? Not quite sure if I'm ready for a true test of my skills against Ren quite yet, but I'll humor her. Yeah, you're on. Let's do this. I look over the cat girl and wondering why she's still staring at me. Yes. Woo! Oh, by the way, this is Maya. That's adorable! It's adorable, chat! I can't take it! It's adorable! She's adorable! I need Maya to be romanceable immediately. Meow! Meow. I've got issues. She's a senior on the girls' basketball team. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. Oh. Hey, nice to meet you. Oh, I can't do a voice. She pushes her fist forward for a fist bump. I'm losing it. I'm actually losing it. This is terrible. I'm actually losing it. Woo. Let's lock in, chat. Lock in. Oh, okay. Let's lock in here. Hydrate. Woo! Okay. She pushes her fist towards my for her fist bump. I respond by bumping fists with hers. Can't wait to see what you're made of. From what Ren and Sarah tell me, you're hot
hot stuff.
She called me hot, Chad. She called me hot, Chad. Oh, I might have it. She called me hot stuff. I wouldn't quite go. You can't see what's going on. I'm gonna do. She called me hot stuff, Chat. She called me. She called me hot stuff. She called me hot stuff. She called me hot stuff. Woo! Woo! Okay. Woo! Yo. Anyway, yeah, I'm here. What up? What up, C? What up? You. Listen, I don't get flirted with. I don't get flirted with a whole lot. I can see that. Give it a sec. It's because of the clip redeem. It takes a second. Give it a second. Give it a second. All redeems are paused till the Twitch redeem goes through, and then yeah, it's a whole thing.
And I think
there it goes.
Yeah, I think we do have his description. Can we take that? Let's take his description.
Why am I sus? Huh? Why am I sus? Why am I sus? Why am I sus? For the cat girl called me hot. She called me hot. She called me hot. She called me hot.
And I think, yeah, I think we do have his description. Can we take that? Let's take his description.
Why am I sus? A cat girl called me hot, and I'm the sus one? Why am I sus for getting flustered, and a cat girl calling me hot? Stop!
Why
am I sus for this?
In Pennsylvania to
she called me hot. You expect me not to get flustered? You expect me not to get flustered? No. Anyway, that redeem is actually broken. You expect me not to get flustered? Meow. She called me hot. She called me hot. Anyway, we continue. We split into roughly two. I don't think I can continue after this, chat. I don't think I can continue after this. I need her to be romanceable. Oh, okay. Let's reel it in. Let's reel it in. Oh, Shark Boy. That's interesting. I'm put on a team with Sarah and Maya. Let's go. While Rin joins up with a Shark Boy with a terrifyingly smug Rin and another human like me. Human I recognize from my homeroom class, but the Shark guy must be from the other junior homeroom. We got Shark Boy. That's actually really cool. Fortunately, I don't have to wait long to find out their names, as they both approached me to shake my hand before the match. I need to breathe, chat. I'm losing it. Hey, new kid. Name's Jack. I'm the star player on the basketball team, but I'll keep my eye on you to see if you're worth scouting. And if you're not up for the basketball team, I've been looking for a new rival in the martial arts club. I'm Ray, by the way, but you can call me King, because I'll be the king of martial arts club by the end of the year. I still need to play the version of the demo. Yes, it's I'm having fun. I'm having fun. Great. As if Sarah and Ren weren't bad enough, now I have two more students on intent and pulling me to the very same clubs. And they both seem to be very vying for the top position of each of their clubs. Looks like I got a lot of competition ahead of me if I go down those roads. Either way, now's my chance to impress them if I want to join either team. But for now, I'm just glad I won't have to completely depend on my own average fitness versus Ren's superior athleticism. Yeah, same. I played the demo ages ago. First time one wins, the backgrounds were still placeholders. Oh. She may be a girl, but Ren is still a little taller and much more fit than me. Just as I was thinking this, Sarah and Ren approached me again with a proposition. You want to make things more interesting, new guy? How about we make a bet? If my team wins, you can come and check out the martial arts club. I can't read.
If my team wins, you can come and check out the martial arts club after school sometime this week. Deal? Sure, I don't see the harm in that, but what do I get if we win? How about you check one of the basketball teams instead? That way we can settle this once and for all. Alright, deal. Hey, wait, both deals in an obligation for me. Do I get a say in this? My protest went unheard. Alright guys, I know we don't usually bother counting score in gym, but I want to put Gabe here to the test. So the first team to 40 wins. Everybody cool with that? Everyone nods in agreement, hyped to have a more serious gameplay than usual. I expect that they're just as excited to know my potential as they're about to play seriously against Ren. One of the students take the basketball for the initial toss-up. Ren takes center for the team, and I take that place for mine. We look seriously into each other's eyes with a competitive grin, ready to act as soon as the ball is in the air. The student drops the ball low and throws it in the air between us. Now, when Ren already has me beat on the height by an inch or two, but the height at which she jumps astounds me. I'm not even close to touching the ball at the point where she grabs it and tosses it back to one of her teammates. 40? These kids are fit. Yeah, they are. He dribbles it down the court and passes it back to Ren for a layup, scoring the first 2 points. Looks like we're in for a tough game. Don't underestimate her. Don't underestimate her. I mean, I don't expect you to, but she's one of the best for a reason. Time to put it in high gear then. I have myself up, ready to go full beast mode. Focus my... is that racist to say that? Chat, is that racist to say you're gonna go beast mode in front of monster people? I feel like that's racist. Readying my muscles and preparing to win. Competitive just takes a different state of mind. It doesn't matter what you call it. For whatever it takes for you to focus on yourself on your goal. In order to channel that focus, I should put myself in the mindset of a famous basketball player. Who was it my dad was always thinking about again? LeBron James. Oh, Drew Brees, Steph Curry. Wasn't Steph Curry in the files? Wasn't Steph Curry in the files? I remember that wrong. I don't know. I channeled the energy of the great basketball player Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry is one of the few basketball players that openly admits being Christian and makes it a big part of his image. He's not afraid to let his inspiration be known and has quoted that he can do all things through Christ who strengthens him. That's a misquoted verse. That's a misquoted verse. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're moving on. I try to think of something that he would say to encourage me and make this game a victory. I've never been afraid of big moments, but I get butterflies. I get nervous and anxious, but I think those are all the good signs that I'm ready for in the moment. That's right. Even if I'm nervous about my actions while playing, they're just signs of adrenaline. I use this wisdom to determine myself to focus on my shooting. And focus I did, because my next 3 baskets were nothing but net. Lucky. We keep it up at a decent pace for the rest of the match, and everyone's spirit still seems into it. When Ren is clearly the MVP of the opposing team, as I suspected, though the rest of them are certainly giving their all to. However, with Maya on board, our team should be an even match against theirs. As we get into the 30-point range, it seems like the game is going to be neck and neck. I steal the ball from the opposing team and speed past all the rest, only to see Ren charging towards me from the front. If I can make this shot just past her, it'll give us a real advantage, not to mention a good confidence boost. I noticed Maya near the open basket, but that gap might close soon if I don't decide quickly. Then again, I could probably make the shot from here if I try before Ren makes it to me. Ren grins at me. She continues her forward sprint. I've got to make a quick choice. What would Steph Curry do in this situation? Cat girl, the cat girl, ooh. See, if I take the shot, she could jump up and just snatch it because she can hops. If I pass it to Maya, though, can she reach it? Can she reach it? I feel like she could just reach out and grab the ball because she got she long hand. I'm gonna take the shot.
I go for it. Nothing's stopping me now except a nearly 6 foot tall dragon girl with a toothy, eager grin to steal my glory. What could go wrong? Nothing, apparently, as I smoothly take my stance, bend my knees, and hop up and let the ball escape my fingertips. The ball sails through the air and straight into the basket. Meanwhile, Ren continues forward, momentum, eager to stop me from taking action. I don't know what she's thinking, but she's getting awfully close to hitting me. And then smack! Ren's body collides with mine, sending me flying backwards into my rear and sliding me further back another few feet. Whoops, sorry about that. Sometimes I get a little too enthusiastic and lose my sense of depth. Ren continues over me and offers me a hand back up. I graciously accept the offer. In the background, I can hear Sarah, Maya, and the rest of our team celebrating our victory. Although Ren is helping me up, I could tell she just realized she lost the game. Well, good game. I guess the new kid's better than he looks. Ren says this with a hint of salt, but still tries to keep it together. The smoke coming from her mouth certainly doesn't help her maintain an image of control. If anything, her holding back the smoke by gritting her teeth only intensifies the intimidation factor. Real. Ren stomps off to the rest of her team and starts practicing shooting drills. I guess I should try to avoid making her angry in the future. Maybe. A second later, I hear 3 people approach me from behind. Oh, don't worry about her. She could be a bit of a sore loser sometimes. Have you checked the codex yet? You've been unlocking entries as you play in the game. Oh! Wow, there's... Oh my goodness, there's a lot here. Oh my goodness, there's a lot here. Oh my god, whoa, oh. Roll back. I've broken the game. I have broken the game, it seems. Meow, I have broken the game. We're gonna roll. Okay. Anyway, I'm not gonna do that again. Maya. I'm really good at the game! Cat people. Let's read about my kind, shall we? Cat people are known for their curiosity and nimble reflexes. If there's trouble nearby, a cat person is involved. Real. I won't say that it's always the cat person, but don't discount the possibility. Oh, this is real. This is so real. They often involve themselves in sports, exploration, and napping. If you find a cat person that has become attached to you, count them as a loyal friend who may ask for more attention than they appear to give you in return. See... Is this true? Is this true? How real is this, people? How real is this? As a cat, this is all true. This is all true. Meow. Meow. They are on point. They are on point with my cat people. My kind. My kind. Let's go. Oh, yes. This makes me happy. They got me right. They did right by me. They did right by me. Let's go. Anyway. A second... Hi, Freight Train. Welcome on in. How you doing? How you doing? I'm playing Wholesome Monster Girl Academia, and I'm the cat girl. The cat girl, she kind of pretty. She kind of pretty. But it's non-romanceable in this build of the game. This is just a demo. This is just a demo. This is just a demo. Currently going for Rin. I don't think it's gonna happen because I accidentally got put on the martial arts team. Yeah, she's adorable. She's adorable. Her name is Maya. They got a Y in it. Maya. Maya. She's adorable. Anyway, a second later, I hear 3 people approach me from behind. Sorry about her. She can be a bit of a sore loser sometimes. We just beat Ren, the Dragonkin girl, in a game of basketball, and she's a little bit angry about it. Yeah, when she was up on the team in freshman year, that was a whole problem for a while. It was a fun game, but it kind of does ruin the spirit of things acting like that. You know, I'm a sore loser as well. I understand. Hopefully you can reconcile over things once she's cooled off. Anyways, that was a super great game, by the way. All right. There's going to be a screenshot head here. Meow. Thumbnail happening. There will be a thumbnail of something here. Meow. I don't know if we could pull it off, but the way you looked out there got me really hyped up for some reason. Yeah, when Ren, I messed up the voices so much. Yeah, when Ren was charging at you, I expected you to fumble that shot, yeah, but you proved me wrong. Jack, yeah, you definitely have what it takes to join the team, with a little more training, of course. Yeah, that game was all proof that I needed to know that you make a perfect addition. I gotta say, it's pretty fun to get out there and compete again. I'll give it a lot further consideration. You better! We did bet on it after all anyways. It's getting close to time for next class to start, so I'll see you there tomorrow, hopefully. I mean, not that I had any input or agreement on the bet, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to show up tomorrow at least. Cat girl is adorable, chat. Cat girl is adorable. Meow. Anyway, as the three of them head off towards their respective locker rooms, Sarah's feathers accidentally push a cool breeze in my direction as she turns away. By that time, the bell rings and the rest of us hurry to the locker rooms to change before we are late to our next class. After the final bell, Sister Talia reminds me to pick out a book for the library so I can get started on that assignment. I'm greeted with the familiar sound of silence as I arrive, despite the chatter in the hallway. I don't see anyone behind the main counter. Was I wrong about my assumption that about someone being on staff after school? No matter, I can find my way around the library just fine. It might, however, become a problem when I need to check out. Continuing my survey of the library, I hear a bunch of tapping and clicking in the other direction. I spy a familiar pair of shiny blue antennae from behind a chair. Ooh. It's Slime Girl! Clover is sitting in the back of the library in front of an elaborate setup. Her attention is focused on the game she's playing. It looks like, I don't know. I wonder if the school knows exactly what she's using the computer for, or if they even care. Slime Girl is kind of cute. Slime people are a rare sight, so I'm more than a bit curious about her, and whether she likes slime people, or whether or not slime people are actually from outer space like the rumors say. However, I'm too scared to ask her anything pertaining to her race, as I'm still not very comfortable talking about things like that yet. Maybe I'll ask Damien later, since he seems to open such questions. Instead, I'll just see what she's up to. I haven't played many games recently, so I can seek her opinion for something new. Hey. Looking back at me, Clover greets me with a short wave. Yo. What are you up to over there? Saving the world from powers of darkness? That and more. I look over to Clover's shoulder at her monitors. The main one hosts the main game she appears to be playing. The other is showing multiple smaller windows filled with flashy graphics. Some of them appear to be playing by themselves. Sarah was right in the morning. Clover is really an intense gamer. This setup is pretty impressive considering you're only using the school computers. Yeah, I had some time to do some tweaking and get it to work, but I need a screen for each of my monitors back home. That way I can multitask here at school until my dad comes to pick me up. You don't just take a bus? I'm not very fond of perfect conservation, but it's mostly impatience. I can get more done if I start gaming here. Besides, my dad isn't usually home until late. So, what are you actually playing? Looks like that final 14th Nights game I've seen some trailers for. Yeah, I'm getting ready for some new expansion that will be coming out in December. All the pre-extension patches and events are dropping soon, so I need to corner the market on the materials. And all the other windows you have up? Most of those are remoted windows to my PC, my home PC running mobile game emulators using bots to play gacha games. Wow. Wow. What a method. What a method. I think I understood. I understood. Mobile games are just phone games. Emulators, I guess, simulate a phone on a computer. And gachas are those games where you use in-game currency or real money to collect characters that do battle for you. Sounds complicated. She's too late. No, she's not. No, she's not. No, she's not. Not once everything is set up.
I usually focus on one game at a time and let these bad boys go in for the background fighting me for XP or evolution materials. More power to you then. Most of that is over my head, but I do game enough that I get the concepts. I only used to games where XP is awarded by direct fighting. It seems like an overcomplication to grind XP as an item, then assign items to a character, though I do see the benefits too. It's clear that she's an MMO and gacha addict though. Real. From what Sarah told me before, she's lucky that she's naturally smart, or her brain would probably be mush by now. No. Anyways, I should get the book for the assignment I came for in the first place. I guess you haven't read yours yet, despite being called out by this morning. You would be correct. Figured. I guess I'll figure out which one I want on my own. Nice talking to you. See you around. Laters. Clover briefly waves as she spins back to her chair towards the computers. Nothing seems to phase her concentration when she's gaming, I guess. Right now, I should grab a book for my assignment. I lose myself in thought for a bit, trying to decide which one to pick. Ooh. I noticed that the main counter is now occupied by Eva. She seems to be already lost in a book, despite not having been there before. I wonder where she was before. Considering her position now, she must help out the librarian after hours. I don't think I've ever seen her around campus without a book, so it shouldn't surprise me that she maximizes her time in the library. I'm still considering which of the 3 titles I should pick. I should ask Eva to get her opinion on things. Suddenly, I hear Eva's voice from behind the counter. Hey, Gabe! I turn my attention back towards her. She beckons me with her hand to come to the counter. Have you decided on which book you want? Oh, what was her voice? What did I do for her voice? It's been a minute since I did her voice. Have you decided on which book you wanted? I actually have each of them here since I know you'd be coming. That must have been here while I was, that must have been where she was while I was with Clover. However thoughtful of her. I mean, I did it for the whole class last week too. It's not just for you. Anyways, let me know which one you like. She shyly turns her face as she says this like she said something embarrassing. Odd. Well, as a matter of fact, I haven't been able to make up my mind about which of the 3 books I should pick for the reading assignment. Which one did you happen to read? Eva hesitates for a second, looking a little embarrassed, and in a somewhat small voice replies, I read all 3. Okay, I didn't expect that much dedication to reading. Eva really must spend all of her free time in books then. I got a codex thing. Unread. Eva. She reads a lot. She reads a lot. Eva. Anyway, Wally impression's over. Aha, okay, that's even better. You should be the best person to ask for an unbiased opinion on each. Which do you think I should get the most out of? Well, if you prefer allegorical fiction, then Screwtape Letters would be an obvious choice. It follows the conversation between higher and lesser demons through letters as they try to curl up souls. Took me 3 seconds that you were making a Wally reference. Wally is one of my favorite movies of all time. That little robot dude is adorable. The relationship with Eve is adorable. It's a really sweet story. I love it. Wally is great. I really want to get the Lego set. I'm also really into Lego sets. You can also click any blue letters in the code dialog box and it opens the codex entry. Big. I did not know that. Thank you. It follows the conversations between our yeah, I read that. During the story, you learned how to recognize and avoid the traps demons lay for us. Sounds like it could be an entertaining way to look at their faith through storytelling. I'm interested for sure. As for nonfiction, Mere Christianity is the bread and butter of shared Christian theology. It's a lighter take on apologetics that most people should be able to grasp. I know what apologetics means. Yes. It's not apologizing things, it's, yeah. It could be beneficial, it's my voice. It could be beneficial to see what things all Christians, whether Catholic, Protestant, or Protestant, have in common. Meow. And I know I've heard this title somewhere before, so it must be popular. Last Lastly, The Abolition of Man is a deeper dive into Christian theology that criticizes and warns about moral subjectivity, focusing on natural law arguments throughout. Moral subjectivity? Natural law? I'm sorry, I'm not sure I understood of what either of those mean. Me either, buddy. Those were big words, and I am still learning. We'll put it that way. Oh well. Okay, I guess I'm gonna learn. Yeah, natural law is a theological term that refers to why things are the way they are through observation of nature and the world, as well as the truth extracted from such observations. As for moral subjectivity, it is a thought that whatever is true to me might not be true to someone else. The opposite of this is moral objectivity, which states that morality is unchanging regardless of subject or person, but is dependent instead on objective situation. This is what Lewis argues in favor of. Don't worry if it's over your head. It doesn't come easy for everyone. It is definitely over my head. I am not gonna lie to you. Then again, if you want a challenge, it'll get you thinking for sure. Now this one seems like it has real substance. If you want to get into deep dive and some philosophically based theology, it might be a good start. I am not ready for that. Even if, though it looks like it's about half the size of the other books, I'm betting that it will take me just as long to comprehend as to read it, as the subject matter is so dense. It is very dense. By the time she finishes the final book's explanation, Eva realizes how long and confidently she's been talking and blushes a bit. Anyways, just let me know which one you like. She did just give me a lot of info to think about, so which one should I pick? I'm going Screw Tape Letters, the GOAT. I think I'll go with Screw Tape Letters. Nothing like fiction to solidify a real point. After all, Jesus did speak in parables. This is true. This is true. This is very true. Good choice. I think you'll like it. If you're into apologetics, I mean. Oh, definitely. I'm thinking about getting into this since I haven't really ever taken my faith that seriously. I've heard good things about C.S. Lewis' works on the subject. Well, hopefully, this opens a few new doors for you. And if you have any apologetic questions, feel free to ask me anytime. That is, unless you want to ask Father John or Sister Talia, since I'm sure they are more wise and experienced as spiritual guides. No, I'm sure your advice is just fine. I'll keep you in mind if I ever have any questions. Thanks! Eva grabs the book from under the table, scans a brand new library card, scans the book, and hands them both to B. Wow, thanks. Pays off to be the new kid, huh? Don't let it go to your head. It's not like I'm treating you any different than anyone else. I'm only kidding. Thanks for the help. While she's doing all this, I'll take the opportunity to get her know a bit better. Yeah, so I have the word. I'll tell you after that. So what kinds of books do you normally read? Specifically, I guess. I know Clover is just romance. Eva cuts me off by dropping the book in front of me and clearing her throat. So yeah, y'all are new here. I have the word ad banned because I know when y'all are in ads, and it annoys me when people are like, I'm in ads. I know, it's okay. I am aware of the ads. So I have the word ad banned. Meow. I know, I can see the messages. I know. I can see. It's just Automat's not gonna go through. Meow. Eva cuts me off by dropping a book in front of me and clearing her throat. Guess that's a dangerous road to travel for her. Meow. Welcome on in, I cannot read. I don't have my glasses on because the face tracking and glasses do not mix very well. And I cannot. Artie. I'm gonna call you Artie. We're gonna call you Artie. Hi! Meow! I'm a Catboy. And there's two very, people are like, in this game. Artie. See, no, the font is too small. Articles. Articles is how I say it anyway. Articus. Ah, gotcha. What? Okay, I guess ads are going now. That's a dangerous road to travel for her. Well, I like to dip my toes in many different
genres, both fiction and non-fiction. So I guess you could say you're a well-rounded jack of all trades. You could say that, but I'm not a master of none. I take pride in the large varieties of books I read, not just the quantities. Wait, did she say quantities or qualities? Quantities. Well, do you have any recommendations for me, aside from my obligatory academic reading? Eva thinks to herself for a bit before eyeing me for a second time, then coming to a conclusion. Pick a genre. Anything? Yep. Give me a genre and I'll give you a few recommendations from each. Alright, let me think. Hi, kitty. Meow. Meow. What am I in the mood for right now? I like a good... ooh. We are playing a romance game, guys. We are playing a romance game at the end of the day. I like fantasy, though. I haven't read a good fantasy book in a while. Give me something that will make me feel like I'm on a grand adventure. Eva thinks for a moment, takes a deep breath, and then unloads with a handful of fantasy recommendations. You can't go wrong with The Hobbit. I love The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, which is from a Catholic author, no less. And then there's Narnia by C.S. Lewis. I love Narnia. These are all bangers, Chad. These are all bangers. Don't knock books for young adults. They can be still very relevant. And lastly, there's a few personal favorites of mine. The Earthsea Cycle series, which starts with A Wizard of Earthsea and the first Dragonlance trilogy. Considering how long fantasy series usually are, I don't know if I'll ever have time for all of them. Maybe I'll just pick one or two for now. Should I ask for recommendations in other genres? Yes. I'm interested about her answers for this one. I don't have much experience with romance books, and since Clover said you were reading the one the other day, I say this and Eva gets tense. Her face turns a surprisingly deeper shade of red. I'm honestly impressed, but I should stop. Actually, never mind about that. Tag nabbit. Oh, she relaxes a bit again, but she's still looking at me for a little caution in her visage. Whoops, my bad. Should I ask for recommendations in other genres? We're gonna push it. We're gonna push it. Okay, it does the same again thing. Okay. I'm finished. That should be enough for now. Everything she recommends should last me a while, even if I start now. As we finish the current topic, I become aware that the fact that the whole time she was listening off the books, she had an air of confidence beyond her normal demeanor. When she realizes that I'm reading her face, her body tenses with her tail straight out behind her, but slowly retracts into a normal pose. I guess her passion blinded her from usual embarrassment. She clearly doesn't seem to back down when she's just with Clover, however. Maybe she's just not completely comfortable around me yet. You know, that's actually totally fair. Well, thanks for all the recommendations and the assigned book. I appreciate all the help. Sure thing. You're welcome. See you tomorrow. I retreat from the library and give her a quick wave goodbye, which she reciprocates. I still have some time to kill before dinner, so I may as well head back to the dorms and relax. As I'm headed through the dorm hallways, I flip through my newly acquired book. I should be able to knock it out if I read 2 to 3 chapters each night, maybe more if it gets interesting. Observing the plain emptiness of the hallway, I'm suddenly filled with an intense longing. I knew it would be different being away from home, but now I'm already missing the security of being in my own house, my own room. I start thinking of all the people I've met so far. I wonder if this is all going to be worth it. If this is going to help me as I take my first steps into the real world. It really is different being here all alone. But at least I'm slowly digging a foothold into this place and making the most of it. Around the corner, I run into Damien. His face is tired as ever. Hey, Gabe. Yo. Hey, how's it going? Damien stretches and lets out a big yawn. Fine, just about to get ready for more homecoming planning committee stuff. Homecoming! 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 We're gonna dance! We're gonna dance! We're going to be settling in on one of the few things we've been debating, but I'm fairly sure one of them considering the timing. Homecoming? We had a lot earlier at my other school this year. Yeah? Go with anybody special? Nah. I really wasn't that close with anyone romantically at that school. At least I never got a chance to. I'm reminded of Sophia, the bunny girl from my old school again. I wonder if anything could have happened between us. Certainly not at the public school. Well, there's always this school. Did you have your eye on anyone in class or outside? I haven't really thought much about it until I have. I've been thinking about it a lot. Meow. Anyway, until now. But most of the people I've talked to since coming here have been girls. Cute girls at that. Ah, my boy. Let's go. Never really considered dating a monster girl either, for that matter. Again, not that I thought of dating much in the first place. Well, it certainly isn't for the lack of girls around me, but I doubt anyone would be interested in me. Real. I wouldn't be so sure. I've seen how some of the girls in the class look at you. Oh, don't underestimate your influence as a new student. Sure, newness is awkward for the new kid, but attention is attention. And it's not like anyone's given you any negative attention so far, right? I suppose not. Still, I think it might be a bit presumptuous of me to ask a girl out to dance this early. Well, in that case, you're in luck. It's been a tradition at this school for whatever reason for the girls to ask the boys to the homecoming dance. Ooh. Oh, what's the Sadie Hawkins dance? Oh, there it is. I was trying to remember the Reliant K song, the Sadie Hawkins dance. I love that song, by the way. That kind of reminds me of the Sadie Hawkins dance traditions. I've heard about that. Use the same basic premise. Yeah. My eyes were closed as I was trying to think of it, and I opened them, and there's Sadie Hawkins dance right after I said it. Boom. Listen, Reliant K, goated band, by the way. We were listening to them at the start of the stream. Well, I think I'll let you think about it for a couple of days, and if you find that you have anyone you got your eye on, I'm pretty connected. I might be able to put a good word in for you. What do you think? Sure, I guess. There are a lot of cute girls in class, but I feel more comfortable after getting to know them a little bit more first. Real. Okay, fair enough. Anyways, I'm not to change the subject or anything, but do you mind if I take you up on your offer from yesterday? I mean, asking questions about monster people? Yeah, for sure. Ask away. It's be a good opportunity to learn more about my fellow classmates, so I should ask as many questions as I can. I'm telling you, if cat girls become playable in the full release of this game, it's over. It's over. I'm not biased at all. Meow. We'll start with harpies. What do you know about harpies? I've heard that they can fly with their wings. Is that true? Listen. I'm just saying. Look at my ears. Meow. Meow. In some cases, yes, but it'd be a solo venture. The old stories about harpies picking up people are mostly myth as far as I know. They are, however, pretty light to their unique skeletal and muscle makeup. This is what enables them to fly in the first place. Personality-wise, though, they can be a bit impulsive. Where do you think the term bird brain came from? Meow. That doesn't mean they can't be highly intelligent. On the contrary, many are. Just tends to come with attention deficit disorders by default. I have that as a cat. Meow. Actually, I have that IRL. And yes, their claws are formidable weapons comparable to short daggers. So many keep them dull for that reason. Sarah's pretty good. I don't know, but Maya's pretty great. Listen, a cat and a bird, I don't think will go very well together. I don't think it'll mesh very well together. As a cat, meow, I don't think it'll go well together. Interesting. Good to know. Besides that, the one you might be familiar with is pretty cheery, so you don't have to worry about any danger around her. Yeah, I've noticed. I'm not worried about her, though it is good inspiration to never get on her bad side. Is there anything else I'd like to ask him about? Yes, Dragonkin. How about Dragonkin? Are they all as fierce as Ren seems to be? Ren is also pretty great. If Maya does not become romanceable, Ren all the way, baby. Meow. Honestly, I wouldn't blame you for that assumption, because most Dragonkin I've met seem like they have something to prove. However, there are some kinder, more gentle, sweet ones that completely break the stereotype. Rin certainly is a shining example of the fighting spirit, though. She takes advantage of the dragon skin's natural strength and pushes it past its limits. Likely she'll be able to qualify for men's fighting leagues as an adult at this rate. Fun unrelated fact, yes, they can bellow smoke from their esophagus when they're riled up. It makes me wonder if there were really historical fire-breathing dragons and that they somehow descended from. Is there anything else I'd like to ask them about? Yes, slime girls. I've been curious about slime girls. I don't even know where to start with the questions about their physiology, much less where to start with the rumors about them being aliens. Yeah, they can be complicated people to put together, if you pardon the pun. They're probably the most versatile monster I've met. They can eat and absorb nutrients by putting food and really anything with calories in any part of their body. That's really interesting. Of course, they seem to be able to control this, so there's no risk of being digested yourself if you happen to come in physical contact with one. They seem to not really like the cold very much, but they also seem to be able to control their temperature too. Inside their bodies, they have a solid core which hosts the control, quote-unquote, for their whole body. Heart, brain, nerves, and whatever magic that keeps them together. And they can also take on about just any shape, even if they aren't used to being in a shape. Though if they aren't used to being in a shape, it can look kind of funny. You should ask Clover to show you a few funny head shapes of animals. She likes showing them off for a laugh sometimes. It's all very interesting, but it doesn't answer one thing I like to know. What about the rumors about them being from outer space? Is Clover a real-life alien? I've heard the rumors too. Good night, thanks for playing. I hope you see you playing the server and playing the game again. I will be. If I don't finish it, I'm probably going to end soon. But I will be coming back to this. This is really fun. And definitely when the full game comes out. Well, yeah, thanks for joining. Meow. But honestly, it's never been relevant enough for me to bother looking up. All evidence points to conspiracy theories surrounding. Look forward to more Maya lines eventually. Yes! More Maya, more cat girl content. Let's go. Surrounding area and 51, and scientists wanting to experiment on slime people for their regenerative properties. Who knows if any of it's true? If you ever do any research on the matter and to find something tangible, let me know. Is there anything else yes. Succubi. So it might be a bit awkward to ask about succubi, but I'll get it out of the way. What's the relationship to demons and sex, if any? Yeah, it's common conception about them, considering their depictions in various fantasy works and old legends. The succubi you see walking among human and monsterkin are not demonic in nature, but have human natures completely. You have to keep in mind that demons, like angels, are completely spiritual by nature. So to call something with a physical body a demon just doesn't make metaphysical sense. Some attribute their appearance to the same legend of the Nephilim that is said to have caused most of our variations, but nobody knows the true answer. As for sexual stuff, all I know is that succubi do have some unique qualities about them that can be related to that. For instance, when a succubus likes somebody or even feels love or infatuation, they might produce a very sweet scent that some might find alluring. The thing is, usually only the object of affection is said to have the ability to smell it. Besides that, they do have a unique ability to influence dreams, their own and others. I wonder if that's why Eva reads all the time. Perhaps she's lucid dreaming in her novels and fantasy worlds. That must be nice. Yes. Daywalkers and vampires. So, Father John told me that daywalkers like yourself don't like to be compared to vampires. What's the connection there? Please forgive me of my ignorance. No worries, man. I asked you to ask, so I shall answer. As far as being compared to vampires, considering our similarities, it's understandable, and I'm not offended when someone has questions. So, pizza pheromone? I'm not a succubus! Well, you know, If she has a pizza pheromone, you know. Still, Maya, best girl. Yeah. For others, it may be tiresome to hear the same questions over and over, especially when many equate vampirism with being a daywalker. But to start, how familiar are you with vampires? Honestly, not that much. Everything I know is through rumors and news articles I read. There are many daywalkers at my previous schools or church. Or, frankly, I've never run into one in person until yesterday when I met two. It would be something you found appealing as the player. Yeah. That's fair, considering how rare we are. Let's start from the beginning then. Oh, I'm gonna read it a lot. The facts surrounding the full-fledged vampires are veiled in mystery, so a lot of their origins come down to legend and a few modern public cases. According to vampiric legends, a human must pledge their soul to the devil or another demon in an evil ritual and then die immediately after. Unless you want that new car smell. I'm actually not a huge fan of new car smell. Of course, there is only one willfully giving into vampirism case, but in both possibilities there aren't many public examples to examine. So if they give up their soul or whatever at death, does that basically mean they're possessed? The walking damned? Reprobates? It's all speculation. But if the legends are true, then I would speculate so, and so does the church. If a person turns into a vampire, they lose all their free will just like that, no chance for redemption? Again, if everything in the legends are true, then yes, full vampires will be considered 100% evil beings. The church documents that I've read say that vampires are the closest thing with physical bodies you can consider demonic. This has to do with how they're supposedly created, which appears to include dying, effectively locking the state of their soul in place. Okay, legends I get, but what about in the end? We still aren't completely sure how one becomes a vampire. Pretty much. The main problem is that very few modern cases of vampirism don't tell us much. First of all, none of the ones who were captured ever speak of how they turned. It's more like they're guarding some kind of shared dark secret. Some say it's part of their pact, though there's no evidence for it. Others say it's because they're feral, but they can speak on other matters too. Either way, it's just one thing they share in common. Secondly, only some of them have had experience of those supposed rituals ever happening. Enough to have me convinced, at least. Third, the evidence for vampirism transference comes from a single case where they just pieced together a recently turned vampire's journal entries. Seems like there's still a lot unknown about vampires, though. Damien is pretty convinced about what he's learned about them. Considering Father John's trust in Damien, I'm going to assume that even though the churches recognize that vampires are evil, it has no problem with daywalkers. Whatever the case, I have no reason to disbelieve Damien or his sources. If I'm interested, maybe I'll check them out later myself. Alright, so what's the actual differences between vampires and daywalkers? Whereas vampires are said to be able to die from very little sun exposure, we daywalkers are a bit more hardy under the sun. Sun exposure can still give us headaches, nausea, even flu-like symptoms known as sun sickness if we stay out too long. However, some of us are fully nocturnal for this reason, though it's kind of hard to fit into society that way. Brother is not following me. Meow. Oh, is that why you look so tired all the time? I figured the student council was just working you to death. Nah, that's my fault. I get more done if I stay up all night and all day. That's crazy. I can still function to the increase in vitality, but I'm often tired. You should totally follow me if you're not. Meow. Just saying. If you want to see more. I do a lot of streams. Every Friday, Saturday, and Monday, except I'm doing Sunday. That's Sunday. I'm revealing a model. A new model. My actual model, not this Minecraft figure, but an actual model this Sunday, 3 p.m. CST, Cat Standard Time. Meow. should be there. If you can. Yeah. As a reminder of the fact, Damien stretches and let out a big yawn. Only other curse is that we're basically carnivores. Animal blood works too, but it's not necessary. We can eat and drink other things, it's just not as nourishing and even just unappealing. Concerning their diet, I've only heard rumors about them drinking human blood too. I'm gonna ask about it, it's now a better time than ever. What about human blood? Damien grins at this question, clearly amused by it, or perhaps in anticipation of what my reaction will be. We can drink it, but don't worry, we don't need human blood to survive. No wonder I keep missing your streams. I'm not factoring for cat standard time. Yeah! I do post a schedule. You can see what I... Okay, it's fine. Goober. There are only two reasons a Daywalker would need to do that. For taste and practicality. For every ounce of human blood we drink, we can stay out in the sun for 24 hours. Yes, I do have the Discord. It's my only NYEWS. Great timing, Nightbot. There we go. That is my only NYEWS. Meow. Wow, that was impeccable timing. That was insane timing. Wow. Nightbot is on point tonight. Let's go. My only NYEWS. Yeah, clip that. My only NYEWS. You should totally check it out. It's pretty great. Yeah. What in the world is happening over here? We can stay out in the sun for 24 hours. It also gives us a little boost. Something to the effect of a bunch of caffeine or a small dose of adrenaline for about an hour per ounce. I must be reacting with some kind of disgust because Damien feels the need to reassure me about it. Seeing your reaction to this information, it's clear that you're uncomfortable with the idea. But don't fret. Not every Daywalker likes the idea of drinking human blood. Some of us go our whole lives without drinking a single drop. But for those who want or need to partake it for medical reasons, there is a system set among blood donation centers to regulate its control. There are blood shortages and the blood banks everywhere after all. It's an elective service that's highly rationed. Expensive too. I seem to remember reading an article some time ago about a group of Daywalkers that would steal from blood banks, though they were quickly dealt with. Back then, I thought that Daywalkers, like vampires, had to drink human blood to survive. I almost pitied them for it. But with a healthy dose of fear. That's crazy, Mustache. I'm not giving Damien a liter of my blood to see what happens. That's wild. No, I need my Catboy blood in my body. Thank you. Still, even if they don't have to live off human blood, it still makes me uncomfortable with the fact that they can. Ah! Thanks for the photo.
Ooh. Conrad Sarto has become a new crumb in the alleyway.
Yeah!
Hey, welcome on in.
Welcome on in. You are now one of my crumbs. Meow. That's my bloody platy loaf of neon and platy loaf. He's my little platypus who is shaped like a loaf of bread and has albinoism. He's great and adorable. Other than that, we also have increased vitality and a high resistance to disease, though nothing close to immortality. We're also pretty good at concealing our presence. If we don't want to be found, it'll be hard to find us. Hydrate. Thank you. My throat is getting dry. Dang, we're 20 followers away from my sticker drop. At 400 followers, we're doing a sticker drop of stickers partner with Bean Custom Stickers. And if you're subbed, you do get a discount. But stickers, my first merch. We're doing merch at 400. Woo! Yeah. Meow. That's good. That's for sure a lot to take in. Thanks for taking the time to explain it all. Is there anything else I'd ask about? No, I'm good. I think I'm good for questions for now. If I have anything else for you, I'll ask later. I think that was a productive and fairly enlightening. Yes, it was. Hopefully, all the questions I asked, they need hopefully ask all the questions I need to avoid any future misunderstandings. Either way, I can always come back to aim high again and ask them more specific questions I have concerns about. Well, it's about time I get going. I need to scarf down some food before the meeting. Good luck out there. Yeah, thanks. You too, I guess. Damien resumes at a steady pace down the hall, waving one hand in the air behind him as farewell. I recommend you drop stickers. It'll be hard to get them to stick what you want after peeling off the floor. See, we have the stickers. We don't take off the backing before we drop them. We're dropping them with the backing on, so that way when you drop them, you will be able to pick them up off the floor. And then you can peel them and very quickly stick them to what you want to. That way you don't drop them on the floor. Big brain plays. I waved back in the same manner despite him not being able to see me. You don't have butterfingers. Exactly. I'm doing it on purpose though. You're welcome. You're welcome. I noticed the futility of doing so too late. Thinking back on my conversation with Damien, I wonder if to myself if I really do have any feelings for any of these girls. Yes, I do! Yes, I do! Maya! Though I can't do Maya. I can't have feelings for Maya. It is forbidden love. It is forbidden love, chat. Maya is forbidden love. I am so sad. I am so sad. Pretty much all of them are friendly towards me. If any of them were to have a crush on me, that'd be icing on the cake. Did I look out there with not only friends, but potential girlfriend material too? I shouldn't get too full of myself though. It's better to remain humble. Yes, it is. I'm not here to date anyone necessarily. Yes, I am! Yes, I am! That's the whole reason I'm here! That's the whole reason! I never really dated anyone too seriously in the past either, so it's not like I've got any real experience. At least here, I won't have any racial problems to deal with. Everyone seems to get along just fine, regardless of their human or monster status. It's better just for me to focus on friendship for now. If something blossoms naturally from that, that's fine by me. Brother, you know you want it. You know you want to date a monster girl. Just say yes. That's the way things should be, shouldn't they? Dating should be with a good friend who you share many common interests with, outside from obvious physical attraction, right? Putting that aside for now, I should get started on this book so I can be finished by next Monday. And that's where we're going to call it for the day, chat. We're going to save. Save slot 2. That's where we're going to call it for the day. Meow, I am a little bit tired. Not going to lie. It's been a long day. I worked all day and then here. But thanks, YouTube, for tuning in. Yeah, I'll be doing this again. I will be streaming this again in the future. I don't know when. I have to find some time to do it. But this is definitely a fun game. And I'm looking forward to when the full one releases. Because I'm enjoying this a lot more than I thought I would. So yeah, I will be streaming again in the future. But thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'm going to do my YouTube outro. YouTube! Thanks for tuning in. If you like what you see, give me a hit that like button. And if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. I will be doing this game in the future, and I'll be doing many other games. Like tomorrow, I'll be playing the OG Battlefront games, and on Thursday, I'll be debuting my new model. Woo! New model hype. Let's go! Big woo! But thanks for tuning in for now, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I love you. Stay blessed. Bye. Yeah.